fighting it, but she's losing that war. And that war. That was the main thing. And she let us go.
Yes,
and the conversation went surprisingly well. None of us got turned into actual fucking pancakes on the floor, which was helpful.
Score.
Score, because I was so sure that conversation would go terribly, and it actually went really surprisingly well, despite everything.
I think I got the stream going.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah, the gist of the conversation was, why are you guys here? You didn't mean to come here. You meant to be probably closer to your court, you strange summer being. But scram. Because some shit's going down.
Yes, but also go help the queen because she hella losing. She's not doing great, which was very important. And then we were apparently our problems followed us through the portal, apparently, so we hoofed it and ran with a whole bunch of, with half the amount of Cyclopses that we originally had.
Well, so don't read too much into that, because you guys are still standing on the place where you entered the Feywild.
Oh. Well, yeah, we're leaving.
You are still standing there, and you see no giants behind you. You see no...
Oh, excellent.
I mean, you see the Cyclops group that is now, 25 people. That is...
half of what we started with.
Half of what you started with.
Oof.
Just open up all the PDFs that I forgot to open.
Okay. I am streaming. I have everything going. I apologize ahead of time for taking a while because apparently my streaming thing wasn't up anymore, so I just re-downloaded it. Got it going.
Do you use OBS?
Yeah, I'm using OBS right now.
Yeah, okay.
So we should be good.
All right, so Nikki, if you want to send the link to
here,
her,
I'll send it to Nikki.
Oh, it's okay.
Here.
Rana and Uni
Yeah,
are watching it.
Okay. So I got the chat and all that junk over here.
I DM'd it to you. I can give you the details later.
I'm into that. I'm into that.
Do you like that one, Chase? I
do
figured you
like
would.
that.
I have a whole like thing planned out.
Yeah, that's sure. Yeah.
Are you gonna let me do? Are you gonna let me do that?
Depending on the nature of it, because you do have to be on the same plane.
Alright, hold on. Let me just double check if things are working a-okay through the tablet, so I don't get the reverb sound.
Can I cast through my tree to the other plane, even if I'm in the Feywild? Will you let me do that?
No, you do have to be on the same. Let me. You must. Yeah, the target must be on the same plane of existence as you.
Okay, it's okay. I can fix that. I can do that.
No, that would work though. Never mind. Yeah, that could be done.
Yeah. Okay. I hope you're excited, Chase.
I am excited, especially since that kind of thing just happened to him last session.
Good. This time, hopefully, it'll be a friendlier visit.
Okay, looks good.
Maybe.
Everything looks like
okay. All right. So mechanically, Jared, would you pilot Kitcherlorn for me in the event that we get to battle?
I would do my damnedest. Yeah, he's a sorcerer. I'm sure I can sort it out. Let's see if I can.
I'm sure you can sort it out.
Yeah, I'm
I may have to clear the owner.
Okay. Co-piloting Melifia right now, so.
Sure.
Try it again. You should be able to open him now.
Let's see. If I open up player characters here, Kitcherlorn.
Hey, there we go.
Hello, Mr. Kitcherlorn. There we go.
I can never remember Devin's character's name for some reason. It's in my brain. It's just in and out. I have to pause.
I mean, he's got it easy. He's got it easy. He just calls you lizard.
I know. He
and
does.
Tree and human.
Oh, sorry. Jesus.
If anybody took note of it, actually, damn. Well. Anyway,
okay, do you want to get some water?
I got some. I have water.
Okay.
The last session with you guys, he did actually break that chain, and he did call a creature by its actual name.
Wasn't it the little Drake with him?
It was the Wyvern.
Yeah.
Tyr. And he called it by its name, which I found interesting. So as you, the last thing that you saw was Nyx kind of retreating into her darkened canopy, and fading away as the sky above you revealed again the mostly dusk side of the Feywild. Again, normal cardinal directions don't really work here because everything's kind of always shifting. So the basic layout that you come to understand for navigation is seaward and landward, and sunward and duskward. So you are currently on the duskward, far into the duskward side of the plane right now. And one of these days I'll actually lay out, draw a map of the planes so that you guys can understand the layout a little bit better, because it's some weird shit. But anyway, as Nyx's visage kind of retreats into the darkness around you and becomes the twilight around you, her two kind of vassals who had showed up, these medium armored, light looking fairy creatures, one almost entirely black armor, the other almost entirely silver. They had faded out into the back and delivered a message that combat was drawing near. And the moth kind of lady, let me see if I still have her picture. The moth vassal of Nyx, who was identified as Priscilla, instructed you guys that, well, an attack is coming, and I suggest you not be here when it hits.
So we are
The Cyclops are only one of the Cyclops speaks Sylvan, and so you can see the Elder, and previously in this kind of like grateful, like almost trance, like she was just in utter awe of the stuff around her. She suddenly, you can see her kind of snap back to herself and become very worried, and to begin like kind of tottering her way around, like helping people up and you know, getting them moving and getting them out of their stupor.
So we should fucking skedaddle. I assume
Yeah.
we're following Melifia. She's the only one who
Yeah.
has the capacity to have a bearing. Okay, cool.
Yeah. We're going sunward direction, and we are also going landward. We're going we're gonna go sunward first, and then we'll start heading landward afterwards.
Yeah. And you know that landward, as soon as you basically break cover from here, you should be able to see the Arbor Exemplar, a
Okay.
name that I totally stole. It's kind of the beacon for landward, kind of the North Star for landward. So what do you do? Kitchelorn kind of hovers, you know, flies up to about hit. Damn it! I always do that. The arm of my chair collapses.
Yes.
Whenever I put weight on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is a persistent problem that you have
And
described.
I have. It's been like 3 months now, and I haven't learned.
It's complicated.
The Kitchelorn kind of flies up to the head of the head height of the Cyclops around him and takes stock. And you can see him actively searching for Tyir, who was not noticeably with you guys in the in Nyx's chamber. But neither was Aminette, so it's not that surprising. Vonsog is again helping people up, and you do see Vonsog helping up his mate Duthor. She did survive the attack. I realized I had not calculated that, but she did survive. She was in one of the first groups to get out.
I'm just happy that Vonsog's alive. Honestly, if you killed Vonsog, I'd never speak to you again. I'm just saying that.
Yeah. What do you guys do?
It's
You
beef feet, man. We gotta get the fuck out of here.
You immediately just start moving?
Yeah,
Well-
I will kind of organize people. I will walk up ahead, and if the rest of the party would like trail behind.
Sure. So you
and-
guys are currently in the middle, the center of the garden court, which is one of the 4 courts of the Feywild, and is an immense like Hanging Gardens of Babylon garden. I'm blanking on the word. Arboretum kind of place. So
Tiered garden.
exotic plants all around you of every single possible flavor. I use the word flavor in place of what even is the word variety, I guess.
Yeah.
So you are currently in the middle.
Can I speak to the elder quickly before?
You can.
We
She's
head up?
visible, helping people. They were all kind of in a daze in Nyx's chamber. Not basically none of them having willpower enough to stand up to her presence.
Yeah. We're going to head off as quickly as we possibly can. I will be in front, but make sure that everyone is within eyesight if possible. Make sure you hold on to your children, for they may wander. We may not be able to go back for them if they get lost.
She takes her her face hardens even one more step, with resolve at you saying this, and realizing that the elder of the clan is dead. The shaman, I assume who you were talking about.
Yeah.
The shaman, it realizes, oh shit, she's kind of in charge now.
Yeah.
And she gravely serious and kind of weakly in giant speaks, you assume a paraphrase of what she just said.
Yeah.
The Cyclops pay attention to her, and a number of them grab their children and hold them close. Of whom actually only 3 of the children survived.
Oh fuck.
My heart.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, so remaining in your group there are 14 adults, 3 elders, including the shaman, 8 hunters, and 3 children.
Okay.
You also know Cyclops to have a pretty long life, so that's I think that was discussed earlier. So they don't have children all that often, so the proportion is not that terribly off. So, as you guys take stock of your surroundings in the center of the garden court, you feel, Malifia especially, you feel around you the plants begin to kind of very, very subtly wilt.
Mm-hmm.
And you can feel the pressure of something changing the world around you, something changing the Feywild, the weight of a great consciousness that is not Nyx's. That's not like, it doesn't feel like Nyx's.
Okay.
Something's coming.
Okay. We must go quickly. And I'm gonna lead the way out of here.
Okay.
And I was thinking about this, and I'm gonna let you see if I'm allowed to rule of cool this. Would you let me druid craft a path behind me of like a path of flowers, just to kind of like that fades after the last person treads across them, so that it's like a path that I'm literally leading them down?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Due to your innate connection to the Feywild, this is your home, and the weight of your power is greatest here. You can, like others, perform like other great creatures here. You can kind of perform minor miracles in the Feywild like that. So that's absolutely a great use of your druidcraft. Yeah, and so the rest of you see Malifia as you've never really seen her before. She's always been kind of awkward and definitely the outlander, definitely the stranger in a strange land in your world. But now that she's here, she moves with utter grace. She moves with fluidity and and she nearly blends into the surroundings. Like everything here has this vibrance, whether living or not. Everything here, including Malafia, has this kind of great vibrance to it. And as she walks, you can see her little, her hand, her arm, which had mended itself, the arm that was nearly broken off, has mended itself and has fresh green growth on it. And as she kind of brushes by one of the bushes, it just immediately, slowly, but it's starting immediately, buds and flowers into these beautiful little white petals. And similarly, all the plants along your path in Malafia bloom behind you.
Fantastic. So now follow the pretty white flowers if you lose sight of the strange tree. That's the plan.
Sure.
So this is a very helpful development. Given the nature inherent to what we're doing, and that Despero pretty fucking uncomfortable not being within his normal domain and not being in the places he's been to as a nomad before, he'll have both of his weapons out and at the ready, and he'll helm up the back of the entire group. And anytime he sees anybody deviate from the path, he'll try to bring them back and follow the flowers, while keeping an eye on anything that may be following them as well.
Okay.
Joe will be just kind of moving up and down kind of, the walkway, just making sure everybody kind of stays in single file, just so no one strays off the path too far, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
She's like one of those ranchers trying to herd cows, during like a long.
Yeah. You're kind of playing sheepdog.
Yeah.
Kind of playing the perimeter a little bit, since you are significantly, as a barbarian, you're significantly more mobile than most of the other creatures around you, and more athletic.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You begin pinning them in. And Malafia, actually, can you make a survival check with advantage for me?
Christina, can you make a survival check
yeah.
for me with advantage for me?
Right,
Thank you.
That's the thing. Okay, give me a second. Let's see. Survival, where are you? There you are. 16.
Okay.
I dropped a 2. I'll take it.
Nice.
Win.
So, Malafia, you are traveling through this dark forest that you've certainly never been to, but you have kind of an innate sense of direction within it. And as you push forward, the way opens for you. Whether you're choosing it or not, it is opening for you. Ooh, this is nice. I have to thank Michael for this playlist later. The boughs and branches bend out of your way, of the way of the group, and just closing just beyond the head of the shaman and Despero, who's holding up the line behind her. And Despero, actually, the shaman, as you begin traveling and you draw your weapons in kind of a defensive, comforting posture to yourself, the shaman looks at you and she motions with her hand. She's got a walking stick and she taps it and she puts it on her belt. She puts her hand on her belt and is pointing at you.
She's
pantomiming putting weapons away to you.
She doesn't speak common, right?
She does not.
No, she speaks Sylvan.
Right, Despero is hesitant about this, but he does stow both of his weapons.
Okay. She puts both hands together and gives you a nod, like a thank you. And she just gestures up at the trees around her.
Yeah, so Despero nods back, kind of getting at least a little bit of a semblance of the basic gist of what she's trying to communicate. He gets ultimately that this is not a hostile place, but he's still got a hand on the hilt of one of his swords. Can't take the worry out of the man sometimes.
Okay. So as the group begins to press forward, Malafia, again, you get that wave passing. You can feel it passing over you, and the branches around you and the trees around you of pressure, of the wilting of the plants around you, the dimming of the life force of the forest around you for just a brief instant before it comes back.
Mm-hmm.
and you can sense that the attack has arrived.
Okay.
You see moths fly up out of a number of bushes and fly in a cloud up towards the night sky. You see this happening across the garden that you're in. You see a dryad like the one you'd seen earlier, kind of willowy and thin and loose like the branches of a willow tree. Kind of shuffle its way to a tree and quickly tree stride around you, and like kind of give you a drive-by glance as it makes its way away. This whole place is aware of your presence, it seems. And they're also aware of the presence of whatever this wave of oncoming pressure is. As you move on, you guys take about half an hour of just walking before you begin to see the garden fade. And it doesn't really stop. The garden doesn't really stop. It more just flows seamlessly into the land around it. And you find this deep loam, maybe a foot deep of loam, completely undisturbed, and this very dark sky with just on the edge of which you can see the sunlight. You feel the cool breeze running between the trees coming from the sea, and you can smell the salt of the sea on it, and you instinctively know the way here. Okay. This deep loam, the Cyclops are kind of hushed. They're unnaturally quiet. Otherwise they've kind of been chattering to each other or murmuring, pointing out things like "ooh, ah, tourist syndrome," because this place is utterly alien to most people. But they kind of have a respectful silence in this deep and very dark forest. You hear, just on the wind, a soft whistling sound. And you're not quite sure what it is until above you, you hear the snap of a branch. And crashing to the ground in front of you, Melifia,
Okay.
you see about 20-25 feet in front of you, you see a small creature, no larger than, I'd say, like a medicine ball, like one of those 30-pound medicine balls.
Yep. I know
about that.
Exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, about that big. Kind of awkwardly tumble out of the sky and just crash to the ground with a heavy thud. You can see gently with your dark vision something like wafting off of it, smoke or mist or something, you're not sure. But it shatters the natural silence of this forest with its clumsy entry.
Go up and see if it's doing all right.
Make a perception check for me.
Hey, Christina, make a perception check for me.
Okay.
And I'm assuming this is loud enough so as to be quite conspicuous, like we all heard
It is quite obvious. Yeah, you guys hear just a
I
smash, 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 crash.
Well, that was lame. I literally just dropped the dice. And it just stuck on the ground. 15.
It's okay.
You see the creature, now that it's crashed in, and you kind of look up at its path, and you see a number of those kind of glowing Luna moths faintly trailing it. And as soon as it hits the ground, they start to dissipate. It is twitching. It doesn't appear to be moving very much, but it's kind of having what appear to be like muscular spasms. And it is lying otherwise motionless where it crashed.
Does it look like something that's native here that I would know is friendly or not so friendly?
It looks like a piece of a plant, kind of, but
Oh.
it's twitching. You're not entirely sure. And given that you don't recognize it, you're not sure what it is. You're not sure whether it belongs here or not.
Dumbest thing in the world going up and fucking putting not Cure 2, sorry, I'm thinking Final Fantasy. Cure Wounds, there we go, on it. Am I stupid? Probably.
Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Hey, if it's hostile and you heal it back to health, we can kill the fuck out of it.
You also could do just healing word if you can. So that's at least gives you a distance.
That's true. But at the same time, if it was being chased by the moths, then it's probably a problem that they were having. And I don't want to potentially make their problems worse, because we are still in their domain, and if we make them upsetty, then our life gets significantly harder.
So should we just take a wide berth around?
Nah, come on, we gotta investigate this, right? You know what? Despero is going to put some pep in his step and walk his way up to the front of the kind of caravan that we have going, so to speak.
Jesus.
Say, Timothy, contractor, I heard a sound. And his hand's still on his sword. Is everything okay?
Whether to help this creature or not. I do not want to step on some toes, just in case.
Can Despero perceive this thing?
You can attempt to, yeah. Make a perception check.
No, I'm just saying, can he see it? I mean, can he see it?
Yes, you can see it lying on the ground, yeah.
Do you have eyes, Jared? I'm confused.
I'm just, hey, I have no idea if there's
Well,
some
actually,
magic valence
do
thing.
you have dark vision?
I don't believe so.
I don't think I think actually Nikki's the only person with dark vision in this party.
Yep.
Correct, I am.
Correct.
So what can I
Which
make
is
out?
really helpful.
Or
So
something?
the Cyclops are also do not have dark vision. I'll say they have lights among them. They have enough of those torch stones that they've been lighting their way, kind of muting them, like kind of covered lantern style. So I'll say you guys have a vision range of about 30 feet, while near the convoy of Cyclops.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see it laying there. It's a pile of, well, something.
All right.
It appears to be
Despero
plant.
says, Melfi again. Contractor. That does not look like clothes. Completely dead face. He's completely dead ass about this.
If this is an enemy of the Dusk Court, and I fix him or her, then I am treading where I do not belong. Taking actions that were not needed. Potentially upsetting our gracious hosts.
How do the courts settle matters of recompense for wrong deeds? And he quite literally saber rattles at this point to kind of put the point across.
Do I know how that happens? Does the little plants get their heads chopped off?
Recompense for misdeeds. So there really isn't a like court of law, if you will. So a lot of it is carried out just by force of will. Like if you are strong enough to enforce your will, then you can, and because nobody can stop you. So it depends entirely upon the circumstance of the misdeed and who cares. There is no formalized way that they're handled. Each court does it differently. Each archfey does it differently.
Okay.
Some are very vindictive. You know Titania to be one of the more forgiving ones. That is not to say, however, that she doesn't have a bit of bite
Yeah.
to her bark, as you would.
I will follow your intuition, contractor, but if you do decide to assist it and decide that it should not be left alive, I don't think it's very complicated to just... And he rattles the saber again.
It's fine. I'm going to burn one of my few remaining first level spell slots and cast Healing Word on it.
Okay. So you reach out and through your magic you... Oh, sorry. Wrong place. Campaign. You reach out your healing magic, and this kind of swirl of kind of greenish white energy appears around it, and the creature kind of stumbles up with a little bit more vigor in it. It lifts itself up, and it kind of has these weird, like, it does. You weren't wrong. It does look kind of like flesh. It did have like muscle twitches, but it is also covered in this kind of lignified, dark, and in the low light you can barely see color, but this like dark, nearly black, lignified, like almost bark-like covering. And it has, as it kind of gets up, it doesn't have feet, and it doesn't really have arms either. It kind of unfurls two small wings, kind of leathery in texture, but still covered by this black-gray, ashy bark. And as it kind of turns, it looks up. Hang on, let me fix that. Did that work? Did this work? Please let it work. Just one moment. I need to import a bunch of pictures that didn't get imported before.
Go for it.
Portraits. Tiny. I'm gonna share it with you guys. It kind of has this weird, like these two weird, like stinger things.
Oh.
That doesn't look friendly.
As it kind of unfurls itself, you see kind of a long stalk with no really visible head. It doesn't even appear to have eyes. It does have this strange kind of sensory organ that looks like at the top of this stalk, but it's certainly not an eyeball. And it appears just wrong.
Alright, I'll say at this point, Joe probably start coming up and just like, wait, what the fuck is going on? Because everyone kind of
You see this kind of crashed creature. You see the small crater in the loam that it made. About a 2 foot long skid in the foam that it dug, or in the loam that it dug floor. And now it kind of croaks to its feet, and you hear this kind of chittering, is like,
Okay.
and it swivels around, and kind of, you can see it's kind of wobbly at this point. It's kind of on its.
Okay. And I recognize this is not good, right? Like distinctly
Well,
not
it's
good.
certainly not from the Feywild, or
Yeah,
it's
okay,
certainly
we're
not
gonna cast-
originating in the
Alright,
Feywild.
if you want,
Okay,
just send
we're gonna
Joe
cast
this
Call
back.
Lightning on it. That's what we're doing. Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna point at it, and I'm gonna raise my hand to the air, and I'm gonna like pull down a Call Lightning directly on its head.
You don't
Like,
want
I
to see?
made a
All right,
mistake.
fuck it.
Okay. So as you're so you conjure the clouds above you in a motion, and then pull down your hand, and a bolt of lightning arcs out of the air. Oops, did not mean to roll that twice. We'll take the first one. That's actually a 23 dexterity save.
Ooh,
So I believe it takes half damage.
it does. Hold on. Let me make sure that is the same.
How much damage do I roll?
Well, let me actually pull up the spell really quick because I don't remember the damage roll exactly.
I think it's 3d10, I think, at 3rd level.
A creature takes 3d10 lightning damage on a failed saving throw and half as much on a successful one.
Yeah, so 3d10 halved.
Okay.
So, and I rolled your healing word. You healed it for
Like 4.
well, so it's a D4 plus your wisdom modifier, so it healed it for 9.
Okay, so I'm rolling the 3d10 right now.
Correct.
So 14 damage.
I rolled
So
a 10
your
and a
lightning
1.
bolt. Yeah. Your lightning bolt. So 14 divided by 2 is 7. So this lightning bolt absolutely fucking splits the air around you guys, and the the peal of thunder that follows it. The Cyclops cower and duck. The shaman is less surprised than the rest of them. Kitcherlorn just kind of he's been walking for a little while just because his wings are tired. But at this point, you can hear the beating of his wings slowly carry him up about 20 feet. And you see where the lightning bolt hit and struck this creature, and you did hit kind of near it, not a direct hit, but a grazing one. It has entirely burned off one of the wings of this creature, and it's now kind of oozing this black purple blood sap. You're not really sure.
Ichor.
And ichor, yeah, that's good. And it kind of twitches and eventually expires before, and the body kind of rumbles.
Oh no.
And a large blast comes from it
No.
Oh, okay. Okay.
into this purple and black ichor, splashing everywhere. And in a 10-foot radius, luckily you guys were far enough away, but this stuff splashes into about a 10-foot radius sphere around it and begins sizzling away at the underbrush. And you can see that kind of steamy smoke that was coming off of it is now coming off in full force.
Okay, we're gonna take a wide berth. That's what we're doing. We're taking
And
a
as
wide
you
berth around this.
make a nature check, Malphia, or so, Christina.
Yep.
Christina?
Nature.
I'm pretty good at that one. Nature checks, I can do that one.
I think you're actually worse at that than survival.
20.
I am. It's actually the same. It's
Actually,
both
it's
plus
the
5.
same.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the same on both.
Yeah.
I'm trained in both.
No, you're not.
You're not trained in survival, but you have your wisdom to survival.
Yes.
I am trained in Wait, no, I'm not.
You're not trained in survival.
Right? No, I'm not.
Looking
No,
right
I'm not.
at it.
Yeah. You look with a 20. You just make that actually. You look into that smoke and into that clumsy, weird puff of whatever came out of that, and it's not rising like smoke. It has more weight to it, and you've seen this somewhere else. They're spores.
Oh shit.
Oh no. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Big wide berth. Wide as possible. So that we're not even close to being downwind of it.
Okay. The wind is relatively still. Yeah, the wind is relatively still to this deep into the Duskward side for sure. So you guys are pretty all right. But you see it, this smoke comes off and very slowly blossoms to the ground.
Okay. Alright. Wide berth.
Okay, so the group takes a wide berth around it, which means you kind of go off this path that is opened for you, which the new one opens up for you. Unshare, close, unshare, close. And you can see for an instance, before your lightning, or right after your lightning strikes it, the moths, those same kind of luminescent moths, just very faintly orbiting above the canopy, and then as you guys start to move on, so do they. They dissipate and move and fly off.
Okay. Bad news, bears. This might all be my fault. Bad news, bears. Oh no.
Hold on, I'm
Turns
looking
out
at
actions have consequences, huh?
something. We can only hope that's not the contagion juice. That would be nice.
Yeah, well, I have a sinking feeling that it might have something to do with the contagion juice. I just might this might entirely be my fault.
Well, that to your knowledge, you continue on your path sunward and landward. and taking a wide berth around this now burst, you hear behind you in the distance a faint shriek, which Kitcherlorn kind of perks his head up at and speaks up. That almost sounded like a Draconid. Like a half-breed.
Are dragons known to be anywhere in the Feywild?
Not while I was here. That's why I came here.
And you said that came from behind us?
Yeah, well behind you.
Yeah, it was okay, well behind us. I was gonna ask if we have anything close to a sense of distance.
Make a... What the fuck would that be?
Survival, I guess? No.
To know how far away something is just by sound.
Perception? Survival?
Yeah, I guess it'd be perception.
Okay, I'll roll
Yeah.
perception.
Yeah.
I'm good at that one.
25.
That one you are good at. You judge that it is around the garden court, the court that you just left, the center of.
That is no longer our problem, and our sole goal is to get as far away from there as possible.
Understood. Despero's got no qualms with that. Man of action, let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Cyclops
Yeah.
kind of stunned. It takes a second for you guys to kind of slap them out of their stupor. But they we're supposed to be moving. And you guys begin a kind of, well, I can ask you guys. Nikki, do you want to move them at a normal pace, a quick pace, a slow pace? A quick pace obviously increases your speed, but penalizes your perception and stealth. Stealth is impossible at a quick pace.
Yep.
Okay.
We're gonna go at a quick pace just to put some distance, and then we can slow down afterwards. The more distance, the better. And once I stop feeling that sinking feeling, where there is big problem, like that direct sinking feeling, we're actually gonna potentially set up camp.
Okay.
Yeah, that is my plan at least. Is just based off of sense. The moment that I stop feeling like the imminent threat is imminent, then we're setting up camp.
Okay. I'll be right back. Just 5 seconds.
Sure.
I have a bad habit of agitatedly tearing my nails off while we play D&D, so I'm trying.
Oh,
not do
bad.
that.
Get yourself a fucking fidget spinner or a spoon or something.
I literally have one. I literally have a brass one right here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Uni
good idea.
also has a fidget spinner that she uses when she's studying as well.
I normally tap my feet, but anyway. Can you guys hear this thing spinning?
Yeah, but I like the sound of the fidget spinner spinning. It soothes me.
See, this is actually a really nice brass one.
Oh,
With a good brass. I picked it up off the ground because it had. I was like, hey, that's cool. What is it? Oh, it's a fidget spinner. Hey, it's got a really nice bearing in it.
I did the same thing, but with a Union Jack one, and then I lost.
Nice. Okay, so you guys are headed out to at a fast pace. So I need you, Melivia, to make a perception check with a. Or no, you're too busy finding the path. So roll a survival check, a straight survival, and then anybody else can make perception checks to watch the place around you.
Okay. Survival
So-
for Mela. 16.
Okay, 16.
And perception for Joe. Oh, hold on. I gotta switch to her color. There we go.
Yeah, at your quick pace, so you actually have a -5 penalty to that because you guys are moving at a quick pace. As you push forward through the duskward side of the forest, you guys rushing through. This is a jogging speed for most of the Cyclops. The elders and children definitely struggling to keep up. They will likely be very tired after this run, depending on how long you go. And making no small amount of noise as they crash their way through the loam and fairly dense branches of a mixed kind of evergreen forest. Let's see. Okay. As you crash through Melifia, you not able to watch the path. Oh, what the fuck? It lost all the app. God damn it. Did lose all my assets.
That's
yeah, I don't know what happened. It dumped the images folder. It looks like.
Oh no.
It's okay. I've just re-imported it. As you rush through the trees and the loam, Melifia, this is of course natural terrain for you. You're mostly at this point, since you're moving so fast, tree striding. But you appear out of the side of a tree and immediately run into a creature that, as you startle it and it picks up and flies towards the group. This is a large creature. It's about the size of like a horse.
Oh, so it is big. Holy shit.
And it picks up with these two large wings, but it has antlers on its head. I'll just show you a picture of what it looks like.
Okay, please do.
And it swipes by the group. It flies by the group, startled, and is going to make an attack roll. Let's first determine a target. Okay, so its first attack definitely hits, and its second attack also definitely hits. In a fright, the creature kind of, you know how like doves, when you startle them, they flap their wings really hard against the ground to make a big noise.
Yep.
This thing does that too against the entire like side of bushes that it was in, and just makes a huge amount of noise. And in two quick bursts of its wings in the air, and immediately dives and swoops through the group of Cyclops, who are all startled and kind of taken aback. They're all set on the back foot by this. And one unlucky motherfucker just gets clocked straight in the face by this thing's talons.
Uh-oh.
That was a critical hit on the talons.
Oh no.
So a total of 22 plus the antlers hit. So yeah, that Cyclops is dead.
Oh.
That's 30.
Damn, you fucking died?
No.
That's 33 damage in one hit.
Oh no.
The adults don't have that many hit points. Yeah, this creature flies through the air, and you can see its antlers swing up, and as the Cyclops raises its hands to like protect its face, the antlers swipe up from below and knock the hands out of the way, just in time for one of the talons, a critical hit, to just come and slash him right in the jugular, and tear out the back of his neck, and it falls and crashes to the ground. Before flying off, and you can hear it like panicked, kind of hooting like an owl, but also every other animal you've seen on the natural plane. Melifia, you know this creature to be something called a kipine, or kipine. And they're kind of the equivalent to a griffin in the Feywild.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, Melifia, roll a nature check.
Christina, roll a nature check.
Are Uni and Rana listening in, or at least maybe either of them?
No, I think they're in raid at the
Oh,
moment.
okay.
But I know that Hong is also potentially listening in, and I think Laura is going to be listening in too. So
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Let me double check.
Um,
Who's listening. Let's see, who do we
So
have?
yeah, with the 10, you don't know much about the creature other than they are a not entirely uncommon flying mammal. I guess it's a mammal. Yeah, and it doesn't. Despero, you catch a glimpse of it, and it reminds you very faintly of a monstrous beast you've seen before, the owlbear.
Oh, yeah, okay.
On your travels, you would have seen an owlbear.
Oh, Inora is
But they
listening.
are good. But it's alien to you otherwise. It is some combination of many beasts that is definitely not native to the Primaterial plane. Yeah, so this Keepine flies through and with another 2 powerful flaps is already up in the canopy and flying somewhere you can't see at this point.
well,
All right. Well, Despero immediately decides it's 5 o'clock and lurches
No.
into Sands. Just,
Mel will hold him off and just keep going. Let them return to the earth. It was my fault, not the creature.
The other Cyclops are kind of shocked, but the shaman spurs them onwards with a quick shout in Giant, and echoes what you just said. And you see as the group moves on, you can see her kind of perform a small rite over the body with her staff and with this kind of bag of like strange herbs and dried animal parts that she crumbles and pours out, and you sense the nature begin to overtake the body,
Okay.
kind of like Caduceus's decompose,
Yes.
kind of, but nature and not death. Yeah. And then she turns and begins kind of hobbling her way. You can see she's visibly winded, as are the other elders.
We're gonna slow down to a normal pace. Am I feeling it's getting less?
You are still feeling that
Oppressive.
encroaching oppression, that pushing, deadening sensation of the nature around you.
Okay. Does it feel even remotely lessened, or is it just?
It is remotely lessened. It is still present, but not going away. But it's also not quite as strong as it was back at the Garden Throne.
Okay. Well, we'll just slow it down just a little bit. Just we'll go at a normal pace just for the
Okay.
poor old people, because I
they
don't want them to die.
They begin recovering themselves, it seems, a little bit.
Okay.
So you push onward into the forest, and I need you to make another survival check, and somebody else to make a perception check with a no penalty this time. And
Do
the
I get
nature,
an
sorry,
advantage?
yeah, Mel's nature check is an advantage, or survival check is an advantage this time.
Mel's the only one here with light vision, right?
Dark vision, yeah.
Dark vision, yes.
The column of Cyclops are holding the torch stones,
That's
about
right.
1 to every 3 people, and shedding some light around you. You can also use a light if you want.
20.
Well,
the
in any
heck?
case, at -1, I should not be the one to make the perception check.
24 for my survival
Okay,
check.
I can make.
Christina,
it.
how did you?
I don't
Christina,
know
how did you?
I don't know how I did that. Oh, yeah. I just I clicked and I dropped something on the screen. I don't know what I grabbed to do
I
that.
have
but
no
I did.
idea how you copied that.
I don't know
Anyway,
anyway,
it's like a copyright.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever.
Anyway,
We take those.
Anyway, I'm gonna do my perception check now. If that's
Yeah. So survival 424. So Melifia, yeah, you quickly find the path. And Joe, you're so weirded out by this place. You're having trouble focusing on anything that might be a threat because you keep just looking at new things, and all these new things are around you, and you can't quite focus. And plus the pressure of these 24 Cyclops.
God, don't say it like that. It makes me really upsetty.
That's what happens.
Just gotta
Nikki, take
count how many left.
responsibility.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, my D100 fucked you guys. And to be fair, I rolled a natural 20 on its attack roll too. So
You're just rolling great today. I wish you didn't.
I mean, the D100 was a 12, so
Oh,
great
okay.
is a not numerically great.
A sparse
um,
term.
Yeah. So yeah, Joe, you're too busy looking around at stuff and kind of trying to follow and hem in the Cyclops at the same time to be observant. But you guys press on for about another hour. With Melifia's check, you guys are making excellent through the forest. And now at about the end of this hour, Melifia, you feel the end. You feel that pressure alleviate enough, not entirely, but enough that you feel you're out of danger now.
Okay. I'm gonna go find Madam Shaman and let her know that we're going to be taking a small rest here for now.
Okay. The terrain is pretty varied, so you could find.
Do I find a clearing for them?
You could find either a clearing or better cover.
That would be great.
Like hiding, one or the other. A clearing would mean you guys are in a tighter group, or a denser part of the forest would mean safer hiding.
Yeah, we'll do safer hiding. Safer hiding is what we're going for today.
Okay, so make we'll write on your survival check, your last survival check for that one.
Thank you.
Yeah, you managed to stop at a spot, and when you kind of collect yourself, you look around and realize, oh, the Feywild has provided us this place to be safe for the night.
Excellent.
And under your, if you choose to begin taking a rest here, your Hearth of Moonlight and Shadow will take hold over, I believe, a 30-foot radius. Which,
Yep.
30. I do not think you could fit 24 large creatures or
No,
huge
I don't think I
creatures
could.
plus
I could
y'all
not.
in a 30-foot radius.
I'm going to try to fit like me and my party and the children within the 30-foot radius if I can.
Okay.
And then I'm going to, if you would let me, try to use Druidcraft or Shape Earth or whatever that I have at my disposal to try and like cover our tracks and like give us as much cover as possible.
With a combination of Move Earth and Druidcraft, you can cover up the tracks for about 70, 80 feet behind where you guys go with little issue.
Yeah.
But also, I just kind of want to, like, our resting area, I kind of want to also make that as in cover as possible.
Sure,
Like,
yeah.
As hard to find as
Well,
possible.
part of the nature of your Hearth of Moonlight and Shadow is that it provides kind of a natural protection, a natural cover. So as Melifia comes to rest in the center of this area, she kind of gracefully, almost instinctually, just kind of, I mean, she doesn't really like lay down. She stands like a tree.
Yes, I am.
So as she stands, she appears like graceful, like I've been saying. But the whole area, the trees around you, bend and twist to kind of seal off lines of sight, to kind of close off lines of sight. That the canopy kind of tightens and spreads out in the whole region that the Cyclops are resting. In what would be about a 60-foot radius, you manage to protect this area with your essence, with your innate connection to nature in the Feywild.
Sorry, Essence got me. I'm sorry. I'm a child. I'm sorry.
And Kitchelorn, having seen this ability before, comments, "Tree, your powers appear to have grown while here."
Vel just nods, and I am home. This is the plane that I reside.
Well, maybe you can keep being this useful. And he
All right, I
gruffly
take
turns his head and cloaks himself in his wings and cloaked in his wings like he's wearing a blanket. He walks over to Tyre and just kind of lays down on him. You can hear Tyre give this kind of like of surprise as the not small Dragonmore, because he's like 7 feet tall, crashes down. Man, I'm glad I remembered to make hot chocolate ahead of time this time.
Good job.
Yeah, yum. With that delicious peanut butter whiskey that I found.
You have peanut butter whiskey? What
it's
the
really
fuck?
good.
Yeah, it sounds really good. With
Yeah,
Hello?
it's good. Just a little bit of it, just to flavor it. Okay, so the Cyclops are fucking bushed. They are exhausted. And I need to look something.
I've never heard somebody use the term bushed before. That's new to me. I like it. I'm probably gonna keep it.
If I'm still
You
really
just take
quiet,
it
Nora,
out.
just let me know. I might have to talk a little louder, guys, because apparently I'm quiet.
On the stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind, I'll try to talk louder.
Also,
Okay, that's fine.
Eridan
I'll
is
just
here as well.
Turn your hair down. Oh, in the
Twitch chat, yeah.
That's cool.
Yes. Yeah.
I'll be back very shortly.
Cool. I'm looking something up anyway.
Oh, I have a question for the chat. What kind of abomination is peanut butter whiskey?
It's fucking
the
delicious,
best
and I will not hear an ill word about it. It's fucking delicious.
It's
It's called
great.
Screwball. SKREWBALL. Katie, back me up. It's good shit.
It's good shit.
It is so good. If you mix it with like some chocolate,
Yeah.
I think it's also chocolate whiskey, but it tastes like a Reese's peanut butter cup.
Yeah, it's good
It
shit.
does kind of sound abominable, but abominable in the best way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the kind of abominable that, like,
Yeah, if you're craving like
yeah.
that chocolate peanut butter mix, it's the perfect thing to add to anything.
Yeah,
hmm
it's good stuff. Yeah, but actually on Christmas, May and I brought a little bit over to my parents, and we mixed it with Fireball cinnamon whiskey, and that was also really good. That sounds like
Okay,
an abomination to me.
That
but it
sounds
was-
like an abomination. I was about to say that sounds.
But it was really good, so fight me.
Oh, I was immediately like, wow, I want to try that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm crazy about cinnamon. Anyway, I
You've
think I
never
found
sounded
the
more
thing-
wrong in your life, buddy. Whiskey doesn't sound like the best thing to mix with peanut butter. Excuse you, whiskey can be mixed with practically anything, and peanut butter can be put on anything. So you cannot go wrong.
Goddess says,
Don't worry.
But like whiskey doesn't sound like the best thing to mix with peanut butter. Fireball is delicious, but also the devil.
Yeah, Fireball is dangerous.
Yeah, that's
Um,
accurate.
And the last time I had it was, well, aside from Christmas, was like college. So,
Alrighty, I'm back.
okay, welcome back. As you guys take a long rest, I need Melifia. I need you to make a perception check. And is anybody else taking a watch other than Melifia? Because Melifia, you do not have to sleep here. You regain your energy simply by being here.
If she breathes, she a thought.
Okay, so 17. And
As long as Joe, I think, gets at least a short. Well, no, Joe will be sleeping.
if you don't get a long rest, you will be exhausted.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you also, because of the way, you really only need like 8 hour or 6 hours of sleep in an 8 hour rest. So you can use the other 2 to keep watch or do other stuff,
I think Joe will just sleep through because she's Yesterday was an ordeal.
Yeah, it's true.
We had a rough time.
Yeah, you got the fuck beat out of you. Melifia, during the night you actually do notice something. Well, let me make sure you notice it.
Okay, allow me to notice, please.
Yeah, it's not gonna pass this. That's a natural one.
As we like to say in our community, get fucked, idiot. Get seen, idiot.
This you definitely notice one of the trees at the edge of your sphere of protection, the one that kind of didn't bow its branches, or you notice a tree that didn't really bow its branches and change to protect you guys. It just kind of is there, and now you can see it very quickly uproot about half of it and take a step outward away from the camp,
Okay.
and then begin like dragging itself like.
Are... So it's really not subtle about it?
It rolled a 0 stealth.
Unfortunate. This poor fucking tree. Oh no.
You say poor fucking tree, but it's a large tree. It's like a probably 100-year plus oak tree.
Okay.
Like it's a big tree.
So it's Grandpa Tree fucking woke up from its delirium and started dragging
itself away from you guys. You know of a phenomenon in the Feywild called quickwood. Quickwood trees can be territorial. They can be problematic for anything that is not expecting them to be there. So, mental note, maybe in the morning, remind your party that the plants are not your friends.
Yeah.
You are a plant, but most plants here are not your friend.
Okay.
Yeah, you notice a quickwood make its quick escape upon realizing how many, or realizing or not, you know that they're not particularly intelligent.
Oh, that's good. So it's not only a not stealthy tree, it's a stupid not stealthy tree.
Yes, but it is big, and sometimes that's all that matters.
That's true.
Yeah, a quickwood escapes from your vicinity. Yeah. The rest of the night passes uneventfully. As a note, what do you guys do for food? The Cyclops have brought a small amount of food, basically what they could carry.
Joe did some
Fear
hunting
not.
before she left, because she knew we were going to be going to a place where she can't really hunt, so...
I don't remember that. What did you hunt?
I think it was like just for any like little creatures.
Small game.
Small game. I remember.
Okay.
I remember saying that, but if not, then I guess Joe can have some of Mel's good berries.
No, I believe you. I believe you. I just didn't remember.
Because I get to retake my spell list finally now that I have had my sleepy. I took Goodberry.
Okay, so that'll be in the morning. You have that, but for dinner the night before, you guys are all exhausted and need food. Despero, I assume you eat your kind of trail rations that you've been working on.
I gave a bag of Goodberry. I gave my bag of good berries to the shaman when we first arrived here.
Okay. Good berries only last for 24 hours. They decay after 24 hours.
Okay. Well, hopefully she ate those then.
She would have passed them out amongst the giants.
Okay.
The Cyclops. They speak giant, but they are not giants. Okay, so you guys managed to scrounge together food. You don't dare a fire, of course. That would be like you advise them. Obviously, that would be a very bad idea. And it's cold, but not dangerously cold. Of course, for you, Melifia, the temperature feels entirely natural. But the Cyclops they're like removing articles of clothing. Their home in the tundra is much colder than this.
Okay.
And
So
Joe,
they're burning up.
And Joe, you are still cold, but it's better than being in the fucking tundra.
Mm-hmm. Joe is feeling better.
Yeah, you notice Joe's got a little more color in her cheeks. She's a little more, bouncy, a little more energetic.
Not bouncy.
She a happy
it's,
lizard.
It's more pep in the step, but like not.
That's what I mean.
Not,
Yeah.
Not really like. Think of like the slowest like moving slug, and then now she's like an inchworm. She's so cold.
She's
I
got,
was
yeah.
thinking-
cold.
She's moving, but with a purpose. Yeah.
I was thinking like a happy Tegu coming out of the closet after hibernation.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Calic can fucking move. Like, I don't know if I ever showed you videos of Maze Tegu, but that dude
Yeah,
can move.
I've seen Tegu's fucking
Yeah.
book it. I've seen him book it.
Okay, so you guys awake in the morning. And I'm just gonna roll a couple dice here.
Oh, great, thank
Yeah.
you. I love it when my DM rolls dice.
Mm-hmm.
So wait, do we get the long rest?
You do, yes, you do get a long rest. Actually, I can do that for you. Hang on.
Thank you.
Menu.
Swish.
Rest.
Please give me back my health. Thank you. I need that.
So
I was
Joe, you're
thinking-
not quite up to full hit dice. You only regained half, and you
Yeah.
were all the way down.
Yeah, that's fine. It's okay.
Um,
I'll take it.
Belfio, you prepare your spell list. The other two of you are sorcerers and don't have to prepare shit.
Oh, lucky you, fucking dickhead.
I don't have to. I don't have to
Kitchalorn-
do anything.
Yeah, you don't have to look up shit. You're a barbarian.
Okay. I also get my beast shapes back.
Yes, you
and
do.
everything else.
And your healing pool.
Yes.
Kitchalorn spends most of the morning, like you guys see him as you wake up, and Malafia, you note him through the night. Kind of, he's got his like his hands on Tyr, and he's kind of, you can see him kind of pressing mana, just raw magic energy from himself into the wyvern. Something that you've never seen him do before. Especially around that one scale that he mended into Tyr's hide. His own black and silver scale that shines through the kind of dull blue green of Tyr's hide. And you can see these kind of slowly radiating, kind of tracing the lines of the scales of Tyr, these lines of that same silver energy, just following the lines of the scales and dissipating into Tyr's body. And you also see that when Vonsog feeds Tyr, yeah, I got this name straight. You can see that he comes over and he kind of looks at Kitchalorn, like shakes his head and tosses Tyr a piece of meat, which he catches out of the air. And Kitchalorn like stands up and like you can see from a distance, you can see him like pointing at Vonsog and then pointing at the wyvern and speaking angrily in a low voice. You don't know quite what he's saying, but he's definitely not happy about it. Actually, Malafia, you can read lips.
I can.
Because of observant.
Yes, I
Do you
can.
want to?
Yes.
Um,
Tell me exactly what's happening, Chase. Tell
you
me
can
right
you can
now.
see him like, this is an honored half dragon. He risked his life for a party of for mine. Something that none of the other ones of you did. You will treat him with respect. And you can see Von's like, damn man, he's my pet. Sorry.
Fun.
You can see Von's kind of taken aback, like, okay.
Okay.
He turns away and he kind of like hangs his head, like being admonished by Mother.
Stop bullying Von Sock, for fuck's sake. He's such a good boy.
Do Dragonborn have lips to read? Whatever.
Technically,
Um,
needed
I
to
feel like
fly.
you're thinking. Yeah, I feel like
Now
you're
we're-
thinking
we also
too
gotta
deep
get
about
into
it, Chase.
lizard folk, too, 'cause does Joe
Yeah,
love them?
even more alien. Yeah.
How does this always happen? It always turns into an anatomy lesson. I
It
swear.
does. Yeah, so you guys wake up and you are still you wake up and it's very strange for you guys to be waking up and it be the same time that you went to sleep. But you look up in the sky and yep, there's the sun way the fuck over there on the horizon. Just barely peeking through the night sky. This is, you guys are a long way duskward.
Damn. Okay.
see, is this uncategorized? This is. So you made your way that way. So you guys begin your travel again, and you hear the after a short while with Melfia's passive perception, you hear the flowing of water. You know that it's not far before you come upon the first of this kind of delta of rivers that you need to cross. And your group is approaching the first one fairly rapidly.
I came prepared for rivers this time, because I didn't get my long rest last time, but I have come prepared this time. I did in fact take the control water spell,
Okay, good.
So sick.
and it explicitly lets me part waterways
Mm-hmm.
so people can move through them.
Yep.
I came prepared. I did my research, damn it.
Okay. So as you guys pass
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
landward, as you guys move landward in the early morning, you the Cyclops kind of drowsily coming to, and actually I forgot to address this one thing. Success, failure. Kitchelorn this morning, aside from his confrontation with Vonsog, is being particularly angry, particularly irritable. And you can see that he's kind of like grumbling his way along. Something's gotten to him. Something's pissing him off. And you notice a number of the Cyclops as well are about like a third of the Cyclops are also just kind of like being unfriendly. They're just like, pushing their partners in line whenever somebody gets in their way. Refusing to share food or water. They're just being dicks.
Man, what dicks?
Go ahead, sorry.
Melifia,
Yes.
part of your presence here does significantly help the help negate the magic of the Feywild, but the weak-minded can still slip into it.
Okay.
There is you would know this, Melfia, there is an innate charming aspect, kind of illusion, enchantment, magic to the Feywild that Melifia's presence dampens. But it appears that some of it has still gotten through.
Okay.
Boy.
Do I know if this is fixable, or this is like he's just gonna be a dick for the rest of the trip now?
It's fixable if you want to expend spells. A lesser restoration can cure the lightest aspect of it. But if it gets too serious, it'll be harder to fix.
Okay.
They can also sleep it off.
Okay.
But just like the Feywild, this magic is unpredictable.
Okay. So they might be dicks today and might be super upsetty tomorrow, and then super happy the day after.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, part of the kind of chaotic nature of the plane is that it influences mortals' minds much more than it does Fey creatures.
I mean, Kitchelorn is default grumpy. I'm not sure adding extra grumpy is helpful.
Despero's gonna hatch an idea. A Despero idea. Just to say, not a
no.
great one, but nonetheless an idea.
I mean, the last time you had an idea, there was a shit knife, so I don't know.
There was a shit knife. There will not be any shit knife this time. Well, I guess we shouldn't count our chickens before they hatch. Anyway, Despero's gonna start doing something very similar to what Joe was doing the first day, which is to say, kind of like weaving in and out of the kind of whole procession and crowd. It's kind of a part of it. But he's going to make absolutely sure, lightly touch everyone as he passes by every time he does this. And to illustrate this, it's not a great example, but it's enough, I think, to get the point across, even though this is not the vibe he's going with. think about you're an Assassin's Creed character moving through a crowd and kind of like gently pushing past everyone. So it's not, yeah.
Yeah,
He's
I
doing
get
that, but he's just doing it over and fucking over. And his plan here, he's doing it rather slowly. His plan here is kind of like make himself the target of everyone's ire instead of each other, so that when there is lashing out, when there is anger, and etc., 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 it's kind of generally directed toward him as a core locus. So people are kind of pissed at him and not each other.
Yeah, so
That's
you're like
the goal.
lightly shoulder checking or knee checking for most of the Cyclops. The people in the line. Okay. Go ahead and roll intimidation for me.
Okay. Mind you, his face is just completely deadpan as usual. He's clearly not attending much right now. But here, you
Yes,
said
but it's
intimidation.
also like a, intimidation, but it's also like a kind of, it's like shoulder checking somebody when they're being an asshole. Like,
yeah.
yo, whack, I'm watching you.
Yo,
You
you
did.
be a
Right.
whack right
Oh
now.
my fucking sorcerer! God, I forgot my charisma was that high.
Yeah, 24. Yeah. Even Kitchelorn, you kind of like shoulder check him on the way by, and he turns his ire on you. He's like, you dare fucking disrupt my path, you insolent, whatever. He keeps going on, but he's stopped being a dick towards the rest of the party.
Excellent.
Yeah, we're just pissed at Despero. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and as you keep going by, he's growing increasingly irate, as are some of the Cyclops. But it's at you, and the other Cyclops and the other party members kind of calm them down. You see Tyre actually, like, as Despero's, or not Despero, as Kitchelorn's about to like turn, and you can see him starting to channel magic in his hand.
Oh shit!
Tyre just whacks him with his tail. You're right. Losing my temper is not fitting of a dragon.
Cool.
I can just hear Devin
Why are
saying
you-
that too well.
I could the best part is I could literally, like, that was Devin. I
That
could
was
not
Devin.
tell that wasn't Devin. That was literally Devin. Congratulations. You did it, Chase. You're Devin now.
God,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I
fucking
did it.
download it.
Kitchelorn's a good character. I enjoy Kitchelorn a lot. Anyway, as this procession continues on landward, Despero fixing things in his weird way, you come upon the end of the peninsula. You kind of hit the sunward edge of this peninsula first, and you can see down into a ravine that ends in a river far below. That's the one you were hearing. And Melifia, as you come to it, you look up the river and realize you're not that far from a large bend in the river. And
Excellent.
maybe, just maybe, this area will make itself available to you.
Okay.
As you push forward along this ridge of this peninsula, now you're kind of exposed to the tree line, walking out on the edge of this medium-sized cliff. It's maybe 40 feet to the bottom total of the ravine. Don't fall off something like that. 25 feet's all it took to do my knee in.
Okay.
You come up on the edge of this peninsula, and across the way you can see that the forest continues. You are also noticeably maybe 30 minutes earlier in the night. The sun is showing just a hair more through the sky. You can see deep streaks of this vibrant pink and kind of swirling pink and purple clouded sunset. Just fading, but now it's more than just vague light on the horizon. You actually are seeing a little bit of the sun.
Okay.
After, I'll say, 4 hours travel.
Okay.
As you guys sit down for a break on this cliff edge, you are left with the chasm and the river beneath, and land on the other side, where you can see the forest is a little more sparse. The chasm at this bend is not as deep as the rest of the places, because of the kind of the peninsula kind of dips down towards the river. A more gentle. Let me just share a blank map and draw it. What I'm thinking of.
I mean, I can see us I can see the map that you sent me. I think.
Okay, then yeah. So yeah, south of the G and Garden Throne and to the left.
I see that bend. Yes.
That's where you guys are.
Okay. So we're heading towards that stony-looking thing. I'm gonna be as vague as possible for everyone else, right?
You could head towards that, or you could try and circumvent it. You could also voice those concerns to the group if you wish.
I think it might be better if we. Okay, I'm going to beckon my co-conspirators to me.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, you are sending. Yeah. Sorry, Chase is just messaging me. Give me a second. Okay, would I know that, Chase? 100%?
Yes.
Okay. Do I know if it's like... Okay, yeah, okay. That was what I was gonna ask. That it's potentially inhabited by not intended things.
You're right.
Okay. I'm gonna draw my co-conspirators to me, and then I'm gonna briefly draw the river that comes through, and then the little small peninsula, right?
Sure.
And then
Let me. Oh, right. You don't have fantasy rounds open. So you can't draw on that.
no. And she's like her finger has become a long stick, and she's drawing in the dirt, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's gonna draw the long peninsula, and then the river that kind of encircles it, and then the small, well, not small, actually, very large islandy-ish thing there, and then put a big circle as and put a. Actually, she wouldn't know what an exclamation mark is, so she's not gonna put an exclamation mark. She's gonna draw an angry eyebrow face. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. And that's where she's gonna mark it. If we cut across the river, across this bend here, we potentially walk into what I believe is, well, what I know to be the ruins of an old elven society. It is uninhabited. That does not mean that there aren't creatures still living there. If we want to circumvent it, and she's going to mark our current location with an X, and then draw a line down the peninsula and across, and so it shows it's circumventing it, we can try and go across. It wouldn't be too much of a detour, but it just means we will be walking through more forest instead of... Would I know that big swath in the middle is like open grassland? Would I know that?
Yes.
Yeah, instead of open grassland, which might actually be better for us.
So, which will it be? Despero and Joe. Do you have anything to input on this? Do you call the shaman to you as well for that?
Yes. And I will
she
explain both
merely notes the map and doesn't have any input on your direction.
I'm gonna be
Mine
completely
said-
honest. I was fixedly focusing on how constipated I was. I'm not gonna ask you to repeat yourself. I'm not gonna ask you, but give me like the spark notes. Give it what's the intended objective?
Okay.
Across
a
the
pit-
river here to the ruins, or south, avoiding the ruins but taking a detour.
But a small detour that might be better because it's still covered in woods and we wouldn't be out in the open.
I see.
How long would,
What is our? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, how long would the detour take us again, time-wise?
Well,
Wouldn't
if you
we-
find a better place to cross, word in this case, if you find a better place to cross landward, it would take you probably 2 or 3 hours just to find that place, which Nikki is to the right on the map there.
Okay. How can
Um,
can I MS paint on this thing? Hold on. I want to show you the path that I'm attempting to take.
Sure.
Hold on. I'm about to fucking open up MS Paint. Don't even try me right now.
Yeah.
Hold on. All right.
Yeah, so I sent Nikki the map, and nobody else gets it.
Yep. Okay, here we go.
Also, it's subject to change, so you know.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
Pretty wild shit, I assume.
It's very wild shit.
Yep.
This fidget spinner was a good idea.
I'm glad you're enjoying that.
Keep me from cracking my knuckles 47,000 times and picking up my nails.
How do I import an image into MS Paint so I can draw over it?
Right click on the image or save it. So if from
I've
Discord,
saved the
save as,
image.
and then just right click on it, edit with MS Paint or whatever paint, 3D paint, whatever you're currently using.
Okay, understood. Doing that now. Download.
Download.
I've downloaded. Edit with photos. Edit with Paint 3D. Ha ha! I have figured it out.
I don't know if you can draw in Paint 3D.
I can.
Hmm.
Okay, so we are like here, right? Hold on. Okay, Chase, I'm gonna.
None of y'all watch this stream if she stream.
Okay, yes, correct.
I'm
Please
not
don't do that.
going to.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Hold on. It's gonna be Sims first, and then I will change window.
Hey, look, the
Okay.
Rainbow Chateau.
It is. Okay. We are like here, right? Like right here?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm thinking we go down this way and across like that.
So you're through that lower
Yeah.
area, large forested area, and then maybe across the islands would be easier.
Yeah.
Because of the width of the river is the issue.
Yeah.
In a lot of these places.
That's okay. Because it seems narrow here, so if it means straight down across that narrow portion, and then across here.
Yeah.
Or
You could-
we can even go up here where it's even narrower.
Yeah,
up here.
something like that works if you want to
Okay.
avoid the ruins. If you want to cross where you are, you have a kind of natural crossing spot here as well. If you want to cross and you'd have to touch the ruins.
Yeah. We could. I will suggest to the group about going around. I know they can't see this image, but it's not that much of a detour.
Okay, if it doesn't take too much time, I would say.
Okay,
let's
so you're
take the-
suggesting like across here and then down like this, right? And
Yeah.
across like here.
Or
back down
if you're
this
ballsy through the ruins.
Yeah, we're not that ballsy. Jeez. My balls are significantly small. Or the other way is just through here, right? And just straight across down. Okay.
I got balls. I got two dangling swinging nards. Please go on.
We
That's
have
important.
24 Cyclopses to take care of, Jared.
Hey, all right.
And
If it
Jared
was
is
just the four
Jared
of
is
us,
not
then we'd be fine.
So across here would be the direct path. The path that I'm suggesting I'm going to draw in blue, which is through here, and then across here, and then across that narrow bit to there. What would be... Actually, we wouldn't even have to swing that far around, could we? We could just cut across, like here, and then directly there. Right?
Yeah.
So how much would that time difference be?
The straight path, so time is wibbly wobbly here. There's not really days. But the straight path would probably be. I'll say the detour would probably be about 40%, maybe almost 50% longer, time wise, than the straight path, because going across the plains would significantly speed your overland travel because the forest is slowing you guys down not insignificantly.
Okay. On the plains, we will be more open, but we would travel faster. But again, we would be in the open.
That also, if you want to get to the plains, that also requires you cut through the ruins.
Yes. Or we could go like a secondary detour, which is go south, circumvent the ruins, and then cross like here,
So
and
That
then
That could work. You don't know the details of the rivers around here, especially given their ever-changing nature.
yep.
I've arrived at a thought. I've done some thinking. I've been using my noodles.
Uh-huh.
Single largest navigation asset by far is Melifia. I say we go wherever Melifia is strongest, which I believe is absolutely not the ruins. And I can't see the map as you're drawing on it, but
That's the point. You're not allowed to
Yeah.
see them ever.
Yeah. But that's the primary consideration of the making.
Uh-huh.
Because if we don't go in a direction where Melifia can make the most of her powers, our guide is not operating at full capacity, and that is not spell a good situation for us.
So also consider news that you heard in the Garden Throne, Melifia.
Uh-huh.
You know what? Actually, Christina, can you have Melifia throw me an insight check for me?
Sure. Yeah, it's good. Actually.
Yeah, she's got like plus
Yeah.
9.
I gotta stop opening my mouth. That thing's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine. See, everything is fine. This is what that offers note. It's not fine.
It's definitely not fine.
Everything was not fine.
Right. I'm guessing, Chase, that all this is all bad, right? This is all death
mean,
and corruption and bad.
You've
right?
never been over that way. You don't really know.
That looks like death, corruption, and bad, Chase. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, lots of things look like things. It's the Feywild, baby.
I hate that, Chase. I hate that a
This
lot.
is Vegas, baby.
I fucking hate that a lot. All right. You know what? Fuck it.
You rolled a mediocre insight. Everything looks like everything.
Thanks, Chase. We're gonna. You know what? We're gonna cut through the ruins. That's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
Actually, we don't have to cut exactly through. We can just kind of go slightly around that shit like that. You know?
Okay.
Maybe just around the outskirts. But crossing at the same places.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I'm not
So-
gonna ask for their opinions because they don't know what the fuck is going on.
Mhm.
Okay. So, you take the time after I'll say a short rest, about a half hour for the Cyclops, to feed and water themselves and bio break while you got the chance, and you are prepared to get down into the gulch, which is not a terribly steep slope, but it is a slope. Down into the gulch, which is about 20 feet down, and cross this probably 50-foot wide river.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely not a small river, not quite as big as the one you guys forded before, but it's also, yeah, it's not as big as the one you forded before, and the waters are strangely opaque. As you look down, this isn't your normal terrain. This river just kind of appears here. There's no like riverbed.
Uh-huh.
You look in the water and there's trees and grass and bushes and stuff.
This is normal.
Yeah, this is normal for you, Elfia. Due to the chaotic nature of the Feywild, sometimes the rivers just go where they please.
Discouraged alligator noises.
Until the spell ends, you control any freestanding water inside an area you choose that is a cube up to 100 feet on a side. So
Okay,
that definitely
yeah,
covers the river, right?
Yes, you can definitely part the river, stop the flow and part the river in a smaller cube than 100 feet, but you can make it happen since it's about 50 feet wide.
Yeah. It's just you choose that as a cube up to 100 feet on a side. Okay.
Yeah.
Range is 300 feet. That's nice, I guess.
How long is the concentration?
10 minutes. So they
Okay.
need to all cross within 10 minutes.
Okay.
So I'm gonna call over the elder
Mm-hmm.
I can part the waters and get you all across, but I can only hold the water back 10 minutes. So they must move quickly, as quick as they possibly can.
She nods to you respectfully, and of our path on the other side, you had discussed ruins.
We will not go through, we will go around.
Okay. I will ready our villagers, or whatever she would call them, our
People.
people, sure. I shall ready my people.
Single-eyed people.
Yeah. And they all slowly get up and kind of mosey their way over and group up just like they had previously. So you have, I'll say 6 groups of 4.
Mm-hmm.
And as you get down into the gulch and prepare, are there anything else you guys would like to do? Take your
Not
stunned
so much in
silence
the way
for
of
a no.
preparation.
No, that's it. Okay, so I'm going to be using part water. So it does technically last for 10 minutes, but the water then slowly fills in the trench over the course of the next round until normal water levels is restored.
So it doesn't just
like,
crash back. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
That'd
not
be
like
that'd be a really cool use of control water.
Yeah, it would be. But if I had done what I initially wanted and like gotten my sleep and had control water, I could have changed the effect to whirlpool, and just like any of those fucking giants trying to cross would have been whirlpooled and gone bye-bye. Yes.
Okay. So you part the water, you cast your control water at what, 4th level?
Yes, correct.
Okay. And the river under your command, of course, splits open into a perfectly dry forest pathway, just like the one you guys have been walking. And you see birds, a number of like small kind of birds of paradise looking birds, fly out of one of the trees from under the water and just flap their way up into the sky. Melfia, make a perception check for me. So, Christina, are you there? She's okay. I'll roll it.
Okay. I get a +9 to that.
Perception.
I get a +9 to that.
26. So, Melfia, as you look into the mostly opaque water, to the sides of this split that you've now made this part, you look and you see a creature, kind of swim up, with a powerful breaststroke, and it comes up with a long, very slender tail that ends in a split double fin, and it comes up and it reaches forward and pokes its head through the wall of cascading water, and okay, and it pokes forward and it has
Hello.
and it has a humanoid face and 2 vaguely humanoid arms.
Oh, lovely.
And this long tail behind it, and it pokes its head through and nods to you as you stand on the shore. This is one of the mer.
I've met these before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of does a dolphin backflip in the water, and rises to the top of the wall of water, and you can see it kind of curiously peeking out of the top of the wall of water, since it's never seen this high in the water before. Peeking out over your group, and you can see it's surprise on its face as it sees the group of Cyclops. And it quickly looks at you. And you make eye contact for a second with it, and let's see, how would it communicate with you?
In Sylvan?
I guess it speaks Sylvan.
Yeah.
And it says in Sylvan, "I was merely checking the disturbance, Guardian. I will protect your passage. I will protect your passage through my waters."
Thank you.
What a nice dude.
I'm sorry to disturb your rest.
He nods and dolphin backflips out of the wall of water back into the river further seaward of you.
Okay.
Mel's got connections.
Excellent. Dab.
As a note, the smell of the water here is surprisingly harsh. This is salt water.
Oh, this is coming from the sea.
But it's in the middle of a fucking forest.
Yeah.
Yes. That is just
love
some
it.
Feywild shit, dude. You just gotta
Yeah.
close your eyes and believe.
So, the group of Cyclopses presses through. Who's first through the breach? One of you guys, or do you want a group of Cyclops to go first?
I just feel really bad if one of them died.
Joe will go first.
I think.
Okay.
She can swim. the rest.
Joe, you confidently step through. You confidently step down onto the. That's dry. Okay. It's loam. It's dry loam, just like the rest of the forest. In fact, in this small split, there is no sign that a river was ever here. So you step forward. You step forward first, and kind of, not timidly, but cautiously. Like, that's weird. This should be wet. That's fucking weird. And you manage to cross the 50 foot and scale the other side without issue. It's a pretty easy way out of this gully. The Cyclops again kind of timidly follow, and Kitchorn flies across with Tyr kind of making a single jumping flap to make it to the other side. Amunet is just fucking stubbornly refusing to go. Amunet is just tripped the fuck out, the mammoth, and is taking significant cajoling by Vonsog. Who
I can speak to animals, right?
Vonsog manages to get his attention,
Okay.
and keep his attention focused on him long enough to get him into the middle of it
Okay.
before he realizes, oh no, this is just ground, and he keeps walking.
Okay. Good job, Amunet.
He rolled a really high animal handling check there. So Despero and the last groups of shamans, you guys want to pass through as well?
Yep.
All right.
Despero does say out loud as he takes that first step, no, water is supposed to be wet, but he keeps walking.
I mean, water is indeed supposed to be wet. He is correct about that.
And Melifia, you now kind of following up the group in the river, you gently let the wall of water recede back down into the gully with your ankles, bottom branches, I guess. Just gently lapping in the current that restores itself after you release your control water spell.
Mhm.
What would barky ankles be? Nikki, you got bankles.
You got bankles.
Can I kill Jared's character?
I mean, you can try.
I was mostly kidding.
Anyway, pardon my interruption. I apologize.
Yeah, that's all right. You do have bankles.
Wow.
Devin's not here to flame you, Nikki. We have to get some in.
No, understandable. Have a nice day. Honestly, understandable. Have a nice day.
So you cross the river successfully, and you make it through to the opposite bank, on which the trees are much more sparse, but you still see a fairly a reasonable forest in front of you. So, do you want to push straight sunward, Nikki, or do you want to cut around?
We're gonna cut around the. We're gonna still go. Not sunward side. We're gonna go landward, and we're gonna loop around landward and then continue sunward.
Okay.
So.
Sorry, I just gotta respond to this.
Of course, take your time.
Kimberly's appointment got moved up to 11:45, so I'm gonna go with her then.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so you, it takes you guys kind of recollect yourselves, and after the weird, not quite panic of crossing the river subsides, the group is on the move again. You move south. I keep saying south because it's down on the map, but that's subject to change.
That's landward. Yes.
You move landward along this kind of cliff edge for a while, the edge of the gorge. And Melifia, I need you to make a survival check for me, and somebody else make a perception check.
Do I get that check at the
Yes, you do get it at an
at
advantage
the super cool advantage
because you are from here.
because I am Tree
Because you
and
is
we
tree.
are one, and we are one, and Tree is
Cool.
me.
Okay. That's not terrible. So you manage to push your way. You do eventually end up leaving the edge of the gorge and pushing slightly more inwards into this peninsula. And there's the perception. There we go.
Thank God,
Um,
finally. I get a
Yeah,
good roll.
it rolled. It hung on a 3 for a second.
I mean, I wouldn't
Don't
blame
think
it.
I wasn't expecting it to stay there. So 16 survival and 23 perception. Yeah, so Melifia, you lead the group inland a bit from the gorge, and you know that you are coming up on the edge of these ruins reasonably soon. Joe, you're actually the first one to spot them in a change from Melifia, and Despero, you're still playing bully in the marching order, trying knocking shoulders and making people stay focused on you because they are still a bit irritable due to the kind of intrusive fey magic messing with stuff.
Okay.
Boy, my voice got really bad all of a sudden.
That's okay. Drink your hot chocolate.
Yep.
If we need to take a break, I can pee and we can take a break and you can fix your voice.
You know what? Let's actually take a bio break. I also want some fruit, so I will be back. Let's
Make
do
sure
5
you
minutes.
get some
8:30.
Get some more water.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I'll be back.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't have a "we'll be right back" card for the stream. There you go. That should be better.
From my pee break.
Welcome back.
Thank you, Christina.
Actually, I might just get something to munch on for your back. Good.
Good idea.
I'm drafting on Miyoshi with this dude who's very bad. He's not picking good units. I'm trying to communicate and explain what's going wrong here. The motherfucker's just not hearing me.
Why don't you draft with me then?
I would love to draft with you. Are you on right now?
I can get on right now.
Okay. Let me do this last. I don't even want to do this next match with this dude, but I feel like a dickhole if I.
Understandable. Do you. I still need to like get in and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm so stressed out. Chase is stressing me out. I'm so stressed.
I'm having a great old time. I'm vibing.
Yeah, well, yeah, you definitely didn't kill a Cyclops, and I definitely did. So look, it's their life on my conscience, not yours.
I would have smacked that owl.
Hmm?
I said I would have smacked the owl. You stopped me from smacking the owl.
Yeah, but it's not the owl's fault. The owl is just a wild animal. It's the same as you go to a, you know, you go fuck with like a bear's hibernation thing, and you go wake him up, and it mauls you to death. Is it your fault or the bear's fault?
I mean, it's definitely our fault, but like, still not gonna be happy about the bear mauling the homie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it was definitely the homie's fault. You know.
Man, we are losing this match badly, and I honestly just want it to go fast because I'd rather draft with you than with this fucking guy. Wait a minute. Is there? I've completely forgotten. Is there even a way to draft with friends? I know we did it once, but it might have been an accident.
I'm back.
No, we. I think it's definitely doable.
Okay.
And I'm back right on time.
Welcome back.
Perfect.
Speed run version of going to the bathroom, getting food, and putting on a jacket.
Did you get something nice and warm and like lemon honey for your voice?
Well, no, I just got more water, but I've got my hot chocolate still and some fruit.
Okay. If it gets any worse, you get some lemon honey, okay?
I'll be all right.
I will actually be right back to use the restroom. I guess I should have done that at the outset of this little break, but
Oh my fucking god!
It's okay. We're just gonna continue without him.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, I guess he's not. I hate to say this, he's not that important for right now. Yeah.
For right this second. Okay. So you guys have crossed the river. In fact, I'm gonna draw on this little map. I wonder if there's a way to just share with one person. Doesn't matter. He's not in fucking Fantasy Grounds.
Yeah.
Yes, you could stream and only I will look. How about that?
Nah.
What if, fuck you mean nah?
I mean nah. So I'm just drawing. I'm just drawing your path on the thing. Your path already, so I can track where you've been.
Okay.
So, Joe, you actually see it first. You see the kind of border post of you see one ruined spire sticking out of the ground in the forest. These structures that may have once been impressive are now utterly bereft of life. They are obviously worked stone, brick and mortar, and formerly probably a roof. But what you see in front of you now in the distance is a pillar of stone completely wrapped in vines, completely engulfed by the forest around you, and in this mostly dusk region. I had a picture of it. Guess I don't anymore, because fuck my entire folder. Had a great picture for it, I just don't know where it went. That's not it. Whatever, you get the picture. This place is still just as deathly silent as the Duskward Forest was, but now you see the ruins, the edge of the ruins of what was a city, something large. This structure on the outside belies kind of a watchtower, something deep inside, something protecting something bigger deep inside. And that's interesting, actually. Ooh. And Joe, you just see a flicker of movement at the top of this spire.
Okay.
Literally by one.
Tree.
Yes.
I think we should make a wider berth. There's
We
a
definitely could.
well, because I saw movement up at the top of the pillar here. We're being
Well, I
watched.
did say that I did mention that it is ruined, but it is not abandoned. If you would feel safer with a wider berth, we can do that.
Sorry, I'm now searching for something that I did not find earlier because I'm not good at this.
You're great at this, Chase. You're perfect at this.
Okay, well, thank you, but my preparation could use some.
I'm trying to be supportive, damn it.
I know you are. And that's cool. Is that it? Do it. Okay. Yeah, the group not making any attempt to hide, with 24 cyclopes, and a mammoth. You make a strange sight for this land for sure. And Joe, you catch just the glimmer of something moving at the top of the tower, and it moves and stops. So, what is your
Joe's gonna
back?
stare at it. Like do the Avatar Korra, like I keep my eye on you, like hand gesture,
Uh-huh.
and then they'll just keep moving.
Okay.
Like I see you, motherfucker.
All right.
But keep moving around. Like we're not making no attempt to go into the ruins at all.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys, you press on for about 10 minutes, and then you find, Joe, now that you know what you're looking for, you see another one of those watchtowers, maybe 100, so maybe a total of about 300 feet from the previous one. Melded into the forest, deep in the forest, shrouded almost entirely by these dense trees. And now that you see it, you also notice that the trees are forming a kind of soft barrier. The way that the trees are laid out, it seems almost intentional as a way to guide traffic around these watchtowers. This entire place looks intentionally designed. With your perception check, you actually notice the pattern to it, that this is intentionally driven nature. This place was made this way. And as you guys push along the edge of the ravine, it begins to narrow in towards this barrier. To pass along, so about an hour after you guys cross the river, the gulch edge, it begins to press into the barrier of trees and watchtowers, and you guys will have no choice but to pass within about 50 feet of the barrier.
What does the barrier look like? Is it made out of? I may have just missed this part, but is it like made out of like mud?
It's Joe noticed it be due to an extremely high perception roll, but there are these watchtowers that are kind of engulfed by the forest every about 300 feet, and between them the trees are grown in such a way that they make it hard to pass through the terrain naturally. You would have to like cut your way through the trees to pass through it. It's not like a wall, it's not like a rigid wall, but it is these thick trees that form a kind of band. And Joe noticed movement at the top of one of the watchtowers.
We cannot go too much further to avoid it. Oof. I'm thinking if I should go on ahead and like let them know that we're coming through, or if that's just a terrible idea.
That's up to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're the only one who can speak Sylvan out of all of us, so it'd probably be best if you spoke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not fundamentally opposed to it, but I can't like help.
And I can't see because the most efficient thing to do was to have you guys like start going around, but you guys can't like. I can't leave you guys alone because then bad things might happen. So I have to take you guys with me to go speak with them.
Yeah.
Kitchelorn kind of comes up like, "What's all this hemming and hawing? I think it's befitting of us to push our way through. They will part for us, or they will perish."
They
Good old
will.
Kitchelorn.
All right. They will not perish, but I do agree that we should simply move forward. God. Send a signal in some way. I'm trying to think. Did not take animal messenger today. Fuck.
I mean, you could just tree stride, but that might spook the fuck out of him if you're like, "Hey."
I mean, that is kind of what we do. Like that's what us trees do in general.
Mhm.
It I think it might just be better if we just moved on ahead, and if we start getting potentially attacked, then I'll see and try and talk to them. And hopefully we can just kind of show that we mean no harm.
Just pass it through.
I'm okay with this plan. Despero's had that hand on the hilt of that sword for a fucking minute, but he takes it off right now.
I'm gonna talk to the elder. We are going to try to move past. There are people watching us. As long as we mean them no harm, hopefully they will leave us well enough alone.
She leans down and kind of touches you on the shoulder. Sure, you have shoulders.
Yes, I do.
I trust in your guidance, Guardian.
Okay.
This is your purpose, as it was made mine.
Okay. And she nods, and we're gonna go around as far as we can, without dipping in the water. That is.
So here the gorge is about 40 feet down to the water.
So yeah, let's not go into the gorge, and let's just. Yeah.
Okay. The Cyclops then move at like single file, and moving slowly and carefully along the edge of this cliff. Joe, I assume you're still doing your penning in maneuver.
Yeah, just to
Your
make sure
sheepdog
no
maneuver?
one. Yeah, just to make sure no one walks too far out of line, so that
Sure.
they lose track of Mel.
Right. So, Melifia, are you leading the front of this group still?
Yep, and
Okay.
I'm still trailing the flowers behind.
Yeah, I was gonna say
so
like
that
if they
have a
take
path to follow.
if they take a foot out of the flowers, then Joe's gonna be like, "Hey, get back in."
Be there to bite it off.
Yeah, just just
Ugh.
angry alligator noises.
Snarl.
Angry.
She's gonna do that thing that gators sometimes do when they snap their jaws shut, and it's like a tunk because it's just bone on bone.
Cool. Yeah, so the Cyclops are still they are now hushed and quiet and subdued due to the slightly announced danger of their situation. And they continue in single file as quickly as their big feats will carry them, carefully. So I need the whole group to make stealth checks. And I will roll stealth checks for the Cyclopses.
So all of us make it individually, or do like a yes, okay. I get it,
Everybody
yeah,
makes it
yes.
individually. Yeah.
It's a lot of fucking dice skittering across.
There's 6 groups of
Yeah.
6 groups of Cyclops. I'm gonna get my calculator for this. Yeah.
Oh shit. He's pulling out the calculator, boys.
I mean, yeah, I'd calculate.
So Joe, I need you and Malfia's stealth checks.
Oh, right. Okay.
Thank you, Christina. I love you, Christina.
Is it just a base stealth, right? All right, base stealth.
Just a stealth check. Yeah,
Here's Mel's. Oh, hey.
it's pretty good.
And,
Mel actually gets advantage on it, but that's good enough.
oh. Okay. You know what? I'm just gonna roll it again for Mel, just in case.
See if we get a crit.
See
Yeah.
if we can crit. Stealth again. A little better.
A little better.
Joe time. Stealth. Sad times.
Okay, that's not terrible. As quiet as Cyclops can be, and as careful as they can be, moreover, they tread along the cliff edge and make their way further landward past this barrier. And after about an hour of travel, Melifia, you come across a directly in your path an arrow sitting in the ground.
Okay.
Buried about an inch into the ground, with just a small green ribbon attached to the flights.
Okay.
And it appears to have been fired from the direction of the barrier.
Does it look recent? Like this
yes.
happened recently? Okay.
Yes. You did not see it land, but it was put in your path.
Okay.
Interpret that how you will.
I interpret that as we know you are here and we are not happy about it. That is how I'm going to interpret that.
Okay.
Okay.
Does Melifia relate this to the rest of the party?
Yes.
Alright, that's where I was gonna put that hand right back on that sword.
Okay.
Joe will be on edge and like looking around to keep an eye out, but she's not gonna try to show any aggression because don't want people potentially outnumbering and flanking her by getting angry at her, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm going to see if I can talk with them. If they are unwilling and unreasonable, it might do us well to have some of you come with me to go speak with them. However, I'm hesitant to leave these people alone.
If there is a risk of threat, I would like to accompany you, contractor. As he says this, he's not looking at Melifia. He didn't get that far. He's kind of looking fixedly into the tree canopy, but he's trying.
Joe's looking where she saw people earlier on those towers.
Okay. Well. Oh. Okay. Let's.
So,
I would feel more
Michael, if
confident
you're listening, if you're still in the Switch chat, excellent soundtrack. I'm using the playlist you made for me, or made and sent me. Been enjoying it this entire time. Go ahead, Nikki.
If some of us are willing to stay and stand watch and keep guard while I go, that would bring me great ease.
Who are you directing that
At Kitchelorn and my general party.
at? Okay. Kitchelorn volunteers and ruins of the old times. Nothing good can remain there. I will stay here and protect these Cyclops.
Make sure they do not move off. Make sure they stay put. Make sure they do not drift.
Go ahead and make an Jared, make an intimidation check for Kitchelarn.
Okay, okay.
As he begins hovering and like pointing at Cyclops and begins, sit down.
Oh god. Okay.
1 and 2.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. One of the kids starts to like pipe up and he just glares at it until it quiets down. So Melifia, Joe, and Despero, do you guys want to push forward into the ruins? Into the barrier at
Yeah.
least?
Yeah.
Yes,
Joe
I'm
doesn't
going
like
to
it
push
when
forward to see
she's-
if I can to talk to them. Yeah.
Yeah, we're solid. We got a tank, a DPS, and a healer. What could go wrong?
I feel like you're like simplifying greatly, and that is
I have 8 int. I'm allowed to simplify shit. In fact, it's my job to.
actually he's not wrong, and I hate
Yep.
how not wrong he is.
And Mel is the smartest person here
With an int of 12.
Mm-hmm.
This is a very different party to the other party.
Yeah, ain't
Also-
that the fucking truth?
Also, 2 of you have 18s in strength, which the highest strength in the other group is a modified. Or the highest natural strength in the other group is a 16. So
So we're doing great, you know, just
Yeah,
on
we're
a
doing fine.
general scale. We're doing,
you're doing
fine.
um,
He says fine. He doesn't mean fine. He says fine. He does not mean fine.
you guys are doing interesting shit. I think you're doing fine.
Okay, good.
Anyway, so you push forward towards this through the surprisingly clear path between you and between the cliff edge and this barrier. And as you get closer, a voice comes out. Do any of you
Do any of us speak what?
Elven?
I think I might.
Nope.
I think I might.
Nope.
Let's
Nope,
test.
no, I do not.
Understood by Melifia.
Okay.
Yeah, it says Melifia understands it.
Oh, fantastic! Excellent. Thank God. I'm useful. God damn it.
You hear calling out, "Halt, strangers. I see there's a guardian among you."
Mel will step forward so that she is in full view.
Yes.
Respectfully, guardian. You don't see where this voice is coming from. Actually, Christina, go ahead and make a perception check for Melifia.
I'm good at those.
You are good at those. Respectfully, guardian, we do not incur. Ooh, wow, with an 11, you sure as shit don't see him.
Okay, excellent.
Let me.
Respectfully, guardian, do not step into Osselgun. With the recent threat, outsiders like your group are not to be tolerated.
I understand. We will keep a wide a distance as possible, but as long as you leave us in peace, we will leave you alone.
Have you any news about the Fomorians?
Yes, I do actually. Hold on, let me remember.
He's attacking, bro.
From my... We had just left the...
What is it? The garden court? The garden court.
Throne.
The garden throne. Ah, yes.
We had only just left the Garden Throne when it seemed like an attack commenced. Queen Nyx seems to be holding them off as best as she can, but I don't know how much longer she can.
I said can way too many times in that sentence. I'm sorry, but like
We have. The news is more dire than I thought. And a creature steps forth, and you see this very long-eared dark elf
oh, excellent.
with nearly black, nearly charcoal black skin. Step forward from complete hiding, from perfect hiding, and you can see that the kind of like a ghillie suit. This cloak of reeds and plants moves with the creature, And as this tall, lithe, very long-eared dark elf steps out from cover, you can see that they are almost one with this area. The longer they've been here, and he steps out and meets eyes with all three of you. You bring an interesting crew through here, Guardian. You have deviated from the norm. Why would you bring such creatures here? And he gestures over towards the group of Cyclops during such trying times.
Guardian, their fame has been corrupted and has passed. They have no home left. So I offer them mine. I merely
More
offer them
of us.
passage.
More and more of us find ourselves without a home in these times. Then again, what are these times? Really, you've been to the prime material recently. I can smell it on you. What year is it?
What year is it, Chase?
You don't know.
Does
I know.
Joe know what year it is?
No,
least?
Joe doesn't know what year it is.
She also doesn't know Elven.
What year it is?
Yeah, you also don't speak Elven.
Yeah, that's right.
Elvish. It is Elvish. Elven is the race.
I know as much about the time that passes in the material plane as any fey creature does. There is little that I do
What
know.
about your companions? Do they know what year it is?
And I turn to Despero and the lizard.
Do they ask what year it is in the material plane? Do any of you know?
Nope. No, Joe, you have you and your tribe have had no use. Yeah, you and your tribe have had no use for keeping track of the years. And Despero, that's somebody else's problem.
Can we like send a message to freaking Controller?
We don't have
To
the
ask
message
what-
spell.
Hey, I'll give you a hint. Kitchener doesn't know what year it is either.
Oh yeah, because he's from a million years ago. Yeah.
He's from 1,000 years ago. He doesn't know what
This
year it
fucking
is.
party is so stupid and dysfunctional that we literally don't even know what fucking year it is.
Yeah, man. Despero just stares vacantly at Melifia and just kind of scratches his prime material.
Joe, like, she's just like, what? I have no need to track such things.
She
You know,
will
that
turn.
it's almost summer. You know that.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, it's almost summer.
Real quick.
Oh,
Can these elves detect the lack of the delta brainwave coming from these two? Like, is that-
He looks at you guys as kind of dumbfounded looks on each other's faces, and the tree just kind of shrugging her shoulders, and he just you
They are.
visibly sighs.
Hong just
Don't
posted a
imagine.
meme in my DMs that just is a homeless man screaming, "What year is it?" Fuck. Fuck, I don't know. Oh, fuck, we're so stupid. What the fuck?
Well,
Post that in
Guardian.
general.
Post
dude.
that
Oh,
in Dragon. I
it's-
don't want to see that.
In Dragon's Fun.
Oh, it's apparently Jumanji, but I've never seen Jumanji. So
Oh, it's fucking Robin Williams. It's
Yeah,
not a
yeah.
homeless
It
guy.
is.
That is Robin fucking Williams.
I'm
you
sorry.
clean
Oh,
your
yeah,
mouth
show
out.
some fucking respect. Holy shit.
Okay, it's Robin Williams screaming. What year is it? My bad, yo, my bad. I just got Hog screaming at me. It's Jumanji, you fuck.
So apparently
Oh,
there's
shit.
not that much of a delay on the stream.
Calling Robin Williams quote some homeless guy. Apparently I've sinned. Apparently I have sinned.
You have.
So this person visibly kind of deflates. Well, Guardian, should you finish with your task, I'm sure you have contracted yourself to them. And you can see him kind of struggling to maintain a straight face at this point.
Understandable, sir. Understandable. Have a nice day.
If you could find your way back to us, simply send us a message.
I will.
Our guardian died some time ago. And
Oh,
we have been trapped here. For I cannot tell you how long. So, should you find your way back here? I'm reading through names real fast, sorry. My name is Nubeni Babin. I'm gonna type that to you. Nubeni.
oh, you're really gonna let me spell that? All right, I was about to say.
I'm gonna type it in
You're really-
chat.
Thank
that's
you.
an Elvish. That's an Elvish. Let's try it in common.
Can you DM it to me so I can?
There it is.
Can you just DM it to me so I can
It's
copy
on the
paste it?
screen, Nikki. Look at it.
My name
Can
is
you just
Nubeni of House Babin.
Remember?
hold your
you.
just.
Alright.
Thank you, and you.
B-E-N-I.
Sorry, I misspoke. This one's female.
N-U-B-N-I, Nubeni.
Yeah, that's the first word. Second word,
Uh-huh.
B-H-E-E.
B-H-E-E, okay.
Yeah, B-E-N.
Beeben. Okay. The
Good.
dark
Don't laugh at this brow. She's gonna kill us.
the dark elf grout trapped in ruin without guardian. Come back to this plot hook, Nikki. In brackets, there we go. This is how I track shit, okay?
Cool.
Can't forget about Beaven.
We will
Yeah, I'm
allow
not-
you safe passage. So long as you make your way quickly. The Fomorian threat would make mincemeat of you.
We will move as fast as their legs can carry them.
Good luck. And
You
she
as well.
disappears backwards into the barrier, and as she passes back through it, she visually completely disappears.
Okay. Excellent. Hopefully they won't be shooting us no more, so let us leave.
They never technically shot at us, they just shot the path in front of us.
You hear, if I wanted to shoot you, you would be dead.
Okay. Understood. We're leaving. Bye. Mel nods, and we will go back and find the Cyclopses, make sure there's a head count, make sure Kitchelorn didn't lose anyone.
Yeah, Kitchelorn managed to keep them all sat down enough that he could keep a head count, and and you weren't gone for very long. They all kind of rise, seeing you again, and get back ready to travel again, and the shaman kind of quizzically turns her head. Okay. All right, so you guys moving on again?
It
Let's do
went. It went well. We should be free to pass.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll say another 4 hours of travel, which puts you guys near the need to. No, you got time actually. Yeah, puts you about 2/3 of the way through your travel day. You puts you at the Nikki, for your reference, the landward side of this wall.
Okay.
And you have, well, actually, that'd be the rest of your day's travel, of your cycles travel. It's not really even a cycle of anything, whatever. And you find the Cyclops as you guys emerge into more dense wood again, without that kind of clear-cut area around this barrier. Which, now that you've seen it and can confirm that it is in fact an intentional barrier, you do notice that there's also a clear cut and no trees have grown in the space maybe 100 feet from this barrier. So there's,
Okay.
there's a clear line.
Okay.
But once you guys get back into the forest, you can notice the Cyclops are kind of starting to flag. They're kind of starting to slow down a little bit. And the shaman advises you, it would be good for us to take a rest. We are not accustomed to traveling this far, this fast.
I understand. Are we still at the edge of their civilization that we have been explicitly told not to stick around in?
Yes.
Uh,
You are just
so-
inside the forest line at the landward edge of
just outside. Let me pull up that picture again so I can actually see where the fuck we are.
kind of where that bottom diagonal one goes. You're at the the bottom corner of that diagonal.
Okay.
So you guys still have at least one full cycle, one full day's travel to get to the next river, and then whatever beyond that.
We will stay, but we must clear out before the next cycle. As much as we possibly can. We are not welcome here. Well, you are not welcome here.
The shaman kind of nods, and we tread on the ground of our spiritual ancestors. We should never stay here. We should never have come here, but we were forced to.
There will be greener pastures on the other side.
I hope you're correct.
And the warmth. And I hope the warmth of the summer court will greet you well.
I only pray
This
as
is all
much.
spoken in Sylvan, right?
Yes.
Yes, you do not
Okay,
understand a
Despero's got-
goddamn thing.
Despero's got his arms folded and he's nodding like, "Oh yeah," but he doesn't know what the fuck.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So you guys want to make camp here?
Yes.
Mhm.
All right. So,
If possible.
Christina, can you have Melfia throw me a survival check with advantage, please?
Yes, please. Yes, I would. Blah.
It's okay. I got you.
Double 13.
2 13s for an 18. Okay. Yeah, Melfia, you find a suitable place. Again, a clearing that you happen upon immediately after beginning your search for this thing. That indicates, yeah, the Feywild is accepting of you right now.
That's good. That's very good.
Yeah, it's better than the alternative.
You begin your rest and extend your Hearth of Moonlight and Shadow. I don't think anybody expended anything, so I'm not gonna. Whatever, it doesn't hurt to just start a rest.
I can get,
I
can
did
get
expend
my,
a spell
I can
slot
get
for
my
Control
last,
Wetter.
Yeah, and I can
Your last 2 hit dice back, yeah.
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 Before I rest, I would like to use my Goodberry before I
Okay.
rest and regain that spell slot after the rest.
Are you just conjuring one batch, or what do you want to do?
Can I burn all my first level spell slots before rest to 1, 2, 3, 4 batches of Goodberries?
I believe you can. I'm going to read the Goodberry spell.
The only risk is if anything should happen in the night that requires you to like put your dukes up and you're tapped on spell slots. You're gonna have to like.
Only my first level spell slots.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just the 4 first levels.
What would it look like to cast Goodberry at 4th level?
I'm not sure it can be upcast that well.
It can be upcast, but it gets no benefit from being upcast. It's just cast as a first level.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Any spell can be upcast, but only some of them have advantages for being upcast.
Upcast, yeah.
Ooh.
So up to 10 berries appear in your hand and are infused with magic for the duration of 24 hours, I think. Whatever. This thing's worded badly. Eating a berry restores 1 hit point, and the berry provides enough nourishment to sustain a creature for 1 day. I will say
Okay.
that is for a medium creature. So the Cyclops will take 2. I'll say, sure, 2 apiece.
Yep.
There are 24 of them, 24 Cyclops, and you can make enough food for 20.
Yep.
With 4 casts. If you do a 5th, like a 2nd level cast, you could get enough to feed all of them.
Yeah, I'll do a 2nd level cast to feed all
Okay.
of them.
I just
So-
wish I could upcast into like Good Melon or something.
It's just a particularly fucking big and shiny looking. berry.
big fucking berry. Yeah.
I mean, a watermelon
Yeah.
is technically a berry.
I mean,
Uh,
the best part if you think
think.
about this is that we flavored it that Goodberry grows from her hair branches.
Yeah.
So she's just picking fucking swaths of berries off of her hair, just one at a time.
Yeah, and suddenly a watermelon grows, and her neck like falls over. Oh fuck!
Shit.
We've been playing Raft, which is like a multiplayer survival game where you're on a raft and you can find islands. And we found that the most effective thing to sate thirst when we're exploring islands is not water, but it's watermelons, because you can stack them up to 20 times and they restore as much as a glass of water, and you can use them twice.
Nice.
So there's all four of us walking onto an island with a spear and a fucking sack of watermelons over our back.
That's the way to do it.
Anyway, yeah, you guys make camp for the night. Malafia, go ahead and roll your perception check. Anybody else who wants to take watch can take watch in shifts.
Just a note for something. For Hearth of Moonlight and Shadows, I believe I get a +5 to that perception check.
You're correct. It does give a +5 to perception checks. I'd forgotten that last time.
Yes. So you can roll my perception at a +14.
14.
Sorry, that math didn't come very easily for me, Jake.
I know. It's
That was rough. I had a hard time with that.
I'm really good at low-level arithmetic like this because I played Dungeons and Dragons for so fucking long.
Do you know I used to bring a calculator with me to like my Dungeons and Dragons games because I couldn't do the mental math for it?
That's fair.
That's
to
not.
be prejudiced and perpetuate bad stereotypes, comma. Nikki, you're Asian. Be better than this at this.
Wow. Okay. Well, fuck.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah, that was probably a bad one.
Well, so
That's
the
okay.
Asian and the Australian cancel out.
Exactly.
Oh, like-
Exactly.
Okay.
Anyway, here, I got it. That is a Jesus fucking Christ 33.
Yep. Okay. I can
Um,
see into the next dimension.
Yeah, Melfia is on constant vigil throughout the
Nice.
night as
Oh,
you guys.
Sorry, I forgot to roll. My bad.
It's all right. I got it. I've got her character sheet open too. As the night goes on, let's see what fuckery we have to spread. Tables.
The sound. Like, you've traumatized me so much, Chase. I fucking hate the sound of you rolling dice.
It shouldn't be that bad. I don't always throw nasty shit at you.
Oh, Nikki, guess what? You get a fuck ton of spiders.
That was
It's
your
you.
own goddamn fault.
Okay.
Okay. So again, you notice in the middle of the night, well, what would be the night for you guys where you sleep, but the sky doesn't change. In fact, the land, while highly volatile, doesn't really change between night and day. Like, lots of things are changing, but the more things change, the more they stay the same kind of deal. Kind of resting into a pattern of chaos. And as the clouds above you shift and the winds around you blow, and you now smell kind of the warm scent of wheat and grasses on the wind. And Malafia, you realize that you are closer to home. You can kind of sense the very outside of your home growing closer.
Excellent.
Over the night, you do notice that a small cluster of shrubs gets up and attempts to walk into the group before. A small cluster of shrubs attempts to get up and walk into the group, right up to where one of the Cyclops is sleeping. Malafia, you see them and hear them trying to get up and do this.
Few young leafy things.
What do you say?
Can I help you, young leafy things?
Little leafy things.
Make an intimidation check with advantage.
Oh,
Okay.
Jesus.
I got this.
No, I want to roll it. I want to roll this.
Okay.
Where is it? Intimidation. Okay, she's not bad at it. It's just a +1, but.
I mean,
Bad at anything except maybe
Hey!
like
Ooh.
strength.
19 for a 20.
Ah,
Um,
down.
they kind of recoil for a second and pretend to and they try to sit still, but you can tell that one of them's shaking. Whether in fear or just in, I don't know, because it's shaking, because it's a bush.
Because it's a bush.
They freeze for a second and then slowly start backing up, scooching out of the hearth again. I've rolled plants 2 nights in a row.
Hey, look, we'll take plants over.
Well, yeah.
whatever
We'll take-
that was that
yeah,
killed
that's-
the Cyclops earlier.
You don't want to see what else is on the table.
I don't want to know
Um,
what's on the table. I hopefully don't want to find out either, Chase.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah. Okay, so
I do love the mental image of the foliage just kind of generally being nosy whenever we set them to sleep.
mhm.
Like all the bushes and trees, like, what the fuck is that over there? You seeing this shit?
Yeah.
there's some people over there.
What the fuck? We ain't had people in a few years. Let's go see. Let's go see, Jim. You know,
All right.
Steve. The shrub. Sorry, go on.
Sorry,
Jim
we're,
and Steve the shrubs. Yeah.
we're thinking about
Yeah.
little Timmy the shrub.
Yeah, yeah.
And as you go on through the night with the good berries that you've fed the Cyclops crowd, you wake up. The sky's still the same. That's a little disorienting. The trees are still the same, mostly. Well, no, they're definitely not the same, but they're still trees, so I guess they're okay. And you guys look around, and those of you who are not native to here, look around in the utterly confusing, kind of frozen in time, but also perpetually changing Feywild. And I need all of you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Including
With-
me?
Oh, excluding Melifia and with advantage because Melifia's presence dampens the effect.
Wisdom.
Oh, sweet.
Okay, where's wisdom?
I'm helpful, damn it.
Oh, right. Wisdom save.
Or
Right.
quite helpful.
Okay. So 20, nice for Kitrilorn. Oh, thank God. I dropped the 2, so it's 12. Still not great though.
Still not great. Still not great.
Alright, be prepared for a cranky
Death
crocodile.
Despero,
Oh dear. Yes.
you're the only one who failed.
Oh,
Oh dear.
Yikes. Yikes.
It's a DC 12.
hey, I made it!
That's fine.
Nice.
Despero, go ahead and roll a D6 for me.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
Throw that all night there. There we go. 5.
Oh, that you threw it for
Looking
Kitrilorn.
good.
Despero, you wake up and you think about all of your ancestors back in the prime material plane who can't you might never see them again. You don't know how to get back from the Feywild. Are you sure Melifia even knows how to get back from the Feywild?
Yeah.
You know you're here, but you might never see your home again. Not that you really have a home, you're a nomad, so I suppose you could live here, but what about your ancestors? That means everything to you. That's what you trained all of your youth to be, was a Voine warrior protecting your ancestors. Does any of that matter?
I'm having a breakdown. I'm having a crisis
You're
of
having a
conscience right now.
complete crisis of conscience, of purpose.
Oh
are-
no.
Despondent, and you find Despero sitting solemnly to himself. Not that that's uncommon, but just, well, even spacing out isn't that uncommon for him. Just utterly inconsolable.
You might have to lesser restoration the dude. We can't leave him like this.
Okay.
He
alright.
hasn't eaten. He hasn't eaten breakfast. His weapons are still in their sheaths on the ground where he lays them to sleep before performing his rites over them.
You okay, my dear friend?
Despero does not look up at Melifia as he continues to draw a frowny face in the soil with the shit knife.
Okay. King, okay. Do I recognize this? Do I know I can lesser restoration this and maybe make
You
it?
do know that you can lesser resto off the charming effects of the Feywild, and you make an insight check. So Christina, for her, if you would, an
Sure.
insight check with advantage due to the nature of the magic. This is not a hard DC. I'd be surprised if you failed this. Yeah,
26.
You definitely recognize that he is under the effect of the charming magic of the Feywild, and he appears to be the only one, strangely.
Oh.
You know what? Just for shits and giggles, I'm going to roll the same check for Tyir to see if he passes.
Oh,
Oh god.
the depressed wyvern.
He fucking passed too.
Good shit, man.
God,
To be
this is
fair,
so.
he's got a wisdom of 12, so
Oh god.
Jared, how'd you get to be so lame, dude?
Hey man, it happens to the best of us.
No, it doesn't. No, it really doesn't.
Rude. Fucking rude. So I'm assuming a 26 snaps me out of it?
yes, if she casts lesser restoration on you.
Yes, I will.
Okay. And in an
Okay.
instant, you realize, oh, I can still feel the presence of those spirits of nature. I can still feel the presence of my ancestors. My contractor's here. I am the contract. We're all good.
Everything is fine.
Yep.
All right,
We're good.
Despero springs to his feet and snatches Melifea into a hug, still with the shit knife in his hand. But you know he's Despero, so his face is still completely fucking deadpan. There's not much going on there.
I was gonna say, is the shit knife even still covered in shit anymore? It's been a couple
Is the
days.
shit not washed off?
Yeah, no,
I'd say it's still. I certainly wouldn't cut food with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's certainly not a clean knife.
I was gonna say, didn't he
Never
like take
taken
a
a
dip
trip
in the
through the-
river? Didn't he take a dip in the river at all?
Yeah, he did. He did. He did take a dip in the river.
I mean, you guys.
Would you cut bread with the shit knife?
I
No,
still
you
wouldn't
guys-
like.
No. I still
You,
would-
yeah, you guys definitely. I mean, he took a dip in the river, escaping from that same place. You mean?
No, from well,
No, because he wasn't there. Because he flew forward and they got
right.
Yeah,
Spider
you're
Never
right.
mind.
He didn't.
like the fucking
You did
idiot
not-
he is.
That is still a gross ass shit knife. Yeah.
He sheaths the holy weapon, such that it is, then turns Melifea loose, pats her on the shoulder,
That sheath
and
must
just
be
walks back
disgusting.
like nothing fucking happened.
That sheath
Yeah, that is
must-
like weak old dried cyclops shit. It is not pleasant.
I hate that. I hate that a lot. I deeply despise that fact. Is it like permanently caked onto the knife now?
It's
Is it just
pretty fucking caked on there. Like you could clean it off if you really tried. But you've got a shit knife still, so who knows?
wait. Aridin isn't Aridin. Aridin is Hong because Hong's fucking screen name is Aridin.
Oh. How appropriate, Hong, that you chose the name of one of the other characters.
Fucking Hong.
I thought Michael was in the chat because he turned green right as you said that on Discord. I assumed it was Michael.
Yeah.
No.
No, it is not
It's
Michael.
Hong.
It is Hong with the screen name of Aridin.
Like spelled the same way? Eradin?
Eradan.
Ah.
Aridin.
It does
Yeah.
it does poison damage. That's what it does, Hong.
It does
Well,
not do poop damage,
doesn't-
Hong.
It doesn't necessarily do poison damage, but it certainly causes an infection. Like
Yeah, it's just gross.
that was the entire
It
plan
does-
with it, and it fucking worked for that plan.
It does. It does gross damage, is what the fuck it does. It does.
it does-
That
yeah,
is
it's-
a vile
Psychic
damage.
damage.
Does
It does psychic damage.
Okay, so
So yeah,
Ah,
Despero's
yeah.
all good and back to normal, and he's I mean, still not all fucking there, but at least not despondent anymore.
cool. So you wake up this morning, feeling like P Diddy, and we continue landward.
I think that's the idea, right?
So, Melfia, note with your new knowledge that they don't want you near the ruins. Now, do you want to take the kind of further landward path, the middle landward
As
path
a-
that you'd drawn out?
I still want to take the one that's kind of hugging them because they said don't go through, but they don't mind us being on the outskirts as long as we're quick about it.
Okay.
So as long as we get out of their way by the end of the day, we should be okay.
Okay. All right. So make a survival check, Christina, if you would, with advantage for Melfia,
Yeah, because I'm cool
and
like
a
that.
perception check for Joe, who presumably has the next best perception among you. I don't know about Kitchener though. What is his perception?
He's not very great either.
He has
In
a
fact, I mean-
Yeah, we'll
0.
take that because the other
Is-
roll was a 1. Okay. Yeah, I'll make it perception, right?
Yeah.
Eh.
Kitchelarn, yeah, that is a Kitchelarn has a perception of 0 plus 0. So,
I at least have proficiency with perception.
yeah, that and survival, which are both wisdom for you. Yeah. Okay. So Melifia, you guide the Cyclops group along the landward side of this wall of the place you were informed the name of, which is Fossil Gun. I'll type that in chat. And you continue your merry way onwards. About 4 hours in, you hear again the rushing of a river, and seemingly unabated by unabated isn't the right word. Seemingly unhindered. There we go. By any locals of the forest around you. You make it pretty easily to the edge of that next river.
Okay.
Writing on that survival check, you find a suitable place to cross. It won't be quite as easy as the previous crossing because you'll have to go further down into another large gulch.
Okay.
But you can still attempt to ford it in the same way.
Yeah,
Kitchelarn could use his telekinesis to help the elderly and the children down again, just like
Okay.
in the cliff face.
Uh-huh. That would be helpful.
Okay. So, Jared, go ahead and expend a 5th level spell slot for Kitchelarn, and Melfi, expend your 4th.
Yep.
And I'll just roll some checks for the Cyclops just for shits and giggles. Those are some mediocre checks.
Love that for us.
Although Kitchelarn's telekinesis lasts for 10 minutes, so he's definitely got time to help across those that are unable to help themselves properly. The first group kind of stumbles and slips and slides and falls, but once they get down there, they help by anchoring some ropes that they brought and chucking them back up the gorge to provide a slightly easier descent. And once the river is split, I need to run this again. I really just need a fucking D100 instead of rolling 2d10 and trying to figure it out, because that one landed on a 10 and a 6, so I don't know how 10 in the tens place. So I guess that's just actually 06. That makes more sense. Okay, so Melifia, as you clear out the bottom of this ravine, as the Cyclops are kind of sliding down the gully, the side of the gully, you begin casting control water, and the water splits apart and then forms back together. Like it begins its parting, it begins kind of splitting as a parting, and then just forms back together.
Oh,
That's not good.
that's distinctly bad.
You attempt it again, and the water doesn't get quite as far and forms into almost a glass-like surface of this river. Even though you can see the current beneath and the leaves of the trees kind of faintly flowing in the current, you can sense that the something is counteracting your control water.
Okay. This is probably a terrible idea. I'm gonna burn my 5th level spell slot and cast Commune with Nature and see if there is a powerful fae living in this water fucking ruining my day.
So
That's a
you
good
will,
idea.
you will lose concentration on control water.
I mean, that seems like, unfortunately, the
I
only-
assume. I think Commune has a cast time, right?
I can tell you that in 1 second as I pull up
I'm
the spell.
I'm looking it up too.
Okay.
It has a cast time, so it does disrupt.
It
your
is ritual. Yes, it is ritual cast for 1 minute.
Well, it's a ritual cast for 11 minutes, so you could save your fifth level spell slot actually.
Actually, that would be great if you would let
But
me do
that will
yeah.
entirely burn Kitchalorn's telekinesis. So that's up to you.
I'll hold it all. If Kitchalorn can get the other ones across first, and then we can see if we can commune.
I will get the elderly across, but I cannot help the rest of the adults. This is also,
okay.
as a note, a narrower river. It's only about 30 feet wide, but it is very deep.
Okay.
And so he ferries across. Using telekinesis, he ferries across the elders and children, including the shaman.
Okay.
And then awaits patiently on the other side with Tyr having jumped across to him.
Okay. Well, I think it still might be a good job to do commune with nature and see if we can discuss what is going on.
Okay.
Okay. So let us ritual cast that, and I get to keep my 50 level spell slots.
Okay. So what is your first? So you get to learn 3 facts of your choice about the fall. Powerful fae. Okay.
Yep. So my first question is there a powerful fae creature specifically controlling this water to halt?
There
our
is
progress?
a powerful fae creature whose influence you can sense over this water.
Okay. Is it willing to talk to me?
So interestingly enough, as Melifia prepares and finally casts this commune with nature, you can all sense and feel the weight of the plants and the weight of power around you shift in the Feywild. You can sense the weight of Melifia's influence exerting itself on this plane, like kind of space-time. Oh my God, space continuum, whatever it's called.
Yes.
Yes. Like dropping a marble in the middle of a piece of cloth. It kind of creates that dimple in reality for a second as you guys feel like you're falling inwards to her as she exhibits this powerful fae magic. And as this ripple kind of springs back to flat, you sense that Melifia,
Yes.
you are in contact with this creature, with this fae creature, and it is in contact with you. And the river, the glass-like surface on the river kind of lessens and then begins to vibrate.
Okay.
Like you've seen salt on top of a plate on top of a speaker,
Mhm.
like vibrating with the sound patterns.
Yes.
It begins to kind of morph like that, and you can hear very faintly, along with the sounds of the gurgling water, words coming through. And at first they come through in Aquan, which you are not familiar with. Actually,
Okay.
Despero, you understand it at first, and it's testing out. It says, "Greetings, Guardian. Wait a minute." And then it breaks the waves break, go back to glass, and it comes back and is speaking in Sylvan this time. And Jared, you cannot, or Despero, you cannot understand it.
Huh.
Greetings, Guardian.
Greetings.
I do regret to inform you that I cannot be split. I see your intention, but I, unfortunately, due to a long-standing pact I made, cannot move from this spot. It is my duty to continue to
Not move from the
carve
spot.
carve this land, and you can sense it looks down at the ground that is still trees and grass and fertile regular forest. Fruitlessly, it looks up at you.
Fortunate. For we do need to pass. Could you tell us where it is shallowest, so that we may wade through your waters instead?
I think you would find it difficult to wade through my waters, even as a guardian as yourself.
Bunch my knee into the fucking table. Fuck! Ow! Ow.
There is no.
Ah!
Due to my nature, only denizens of the sea, of the winter court and the seas can pass through me.
Well.
Okay, can you point out to me which river this is? This is the river on the other side, right? That gets me to the plains.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So that.
And actually,
means that
conveniently, as you look up and to your right, you can see that this river flows uphill, up and away from you, around the outer, the sunward side of the Valsamgan. And you look and you see a bridge from the ruins over the river.
Well, then I guess we shall take the bridge then.
It is far inside the ruins.
I'm guessing we're not taking the bridge then.
Yeah. Despero says to Melithea, what has it said?
It says it cannot let us pass. That it cannot be moved, and it will not move. The waters are too deep for us to wade through. But there is a bridge over there, and she's gonna point into the ruins where we were explicitly told not to venture into.
Despero scratches his chin for a moment. And says in Primordial, I have no idea whether we're speaking Primordial to him before, but he's giving it a shot. Do you hear me, river?
It rumbles back to you. I do hear you.
Ooh, hey!
Strange.
Joe can
Yeah.
understand this. She speaks.
Joe can too?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know
Joe,
that.
Joe knows Primordial.
I thought you only knew Draconic and Common. I was wrong.
Nope, I know Primordial. Primordial.
So you both understand this in Aquan, which is a form of Primordial, as are all the elemental languages: Ignan, Aran, Terran, and Aquan.
Sweet.
It rumbles to you. Yes, strange biped. I
God, that reminds me of Diogenes and the featherless
Featherless
biped.
biped?
Fuck me.
I was about to say featherless biped.
Yeah.
Strange biped, and the wave kind of a wave kind of passes through it for a second and you hear a bassy rumble as it looks over the bank at the group of Cyclops. And this word only comes through in Orin. I am Liquaxis.
Quaxis?
Liquaxis.
The quack.
Liquaxis.
Oh no! Okay. Sorry.
You might have
Sorry.
to spell
Go on.
that. You might have to spell that in there.
Liquaxis.
I don't know why you choose words that will purposely confuse the small-brained members.
Because
of
I
the party.
choose a surprisingly small number of these words.
Oh, excellent.
FantasyNameGenerators.com does the rest. And I will toot that particular horn until I die, because that thing has saved my ass a bunch of times. Anyway, Laquax is here. That's how we got the famed Xantamal Tiger Soul in the previous campaign. None of you were there for that, but it was cool.
But it was great.
Anyway, Laquaxis. He says his name, and it is just a ripple of the wave. I am.
Wait, does this also sound like that when Despero and Joe are talking to it, like a bunch of bloops and shit?
Just
Sweet.
sounds like they're drowning. Excellent.
Yeah, you basically have to, like, how are you today? Kind of talk to them.
Joe,
That's how you speak Aquan.
Joe's using like her lower throat to like do the gator gurgles.
Gargle.
Yeah, the gator growl. That's how you talk in Aquan. Yeah,
I got a lizard folk accent.
I'm into that. Kitchelorn's standing on their side like, what? What are you waiting for?
Despero turns around. Oh, we are having a conversation with this kind body of water, and he gestures toward it with his hand.
His eyes kind of narrow. They're pretty narrow already. His eyes kind of narrow, and his jaw drops just a little bit. Yeah. Okay, well, tell me when you're done. He turns around and walks off.
Okay. Despero responds to the Quaxis. I am Despero. Oh, he didn't hear when Melifea was talking about, to it with like, oh, my intention is this, blah, blah, but she didn't tell him. So Despero picks up from what Melifea told him and says, yeah. I think you know that our intention is to go over there. And he points just to the other side of the fucking river and says, if you were us in our position and you needed to get over there but could not take the bridge, what would you do?
I would never cross myself. That seems counterintuitive. In fact, I go on for days that way. And you can sense that the wave kind of pushes landward on the river.
Well,
never crossing myself once. There is another who crosses me there, who infuriates me from time to time. But we should leave them out of it. This is my designed space, declared, nope, place he has to stay.
My designated role.
Yeah, this is the lot I was handed, and I must keep to it.
Despero is not mentally equipped to deal with that mental quandary, so he says out loud in common, oh, I guess I wouldn't cross myself either. Now he's like actively stroking his chin and staring at his feet like, fuck, I wouldn't do that. He's been outsmarted by the water.
It's not hard to do, frankly. I wonder what is the intelligence of a water elemental?
But I'm sure it's higher than fucking...
It might not be. They're pretty dumb. Okay, it's 8.
So he is as dumb as water.
Same level of stupid.
He is Jared is as dumb as water.
So Despero says out loud in common again to Melifea and Joe, trying to articulate his personal quandary but doing a poor job of it. He says, if you had to cross yourself but were yourself and therefore would not like to cross yourself, how would you cross yourself?
I mean, Joe knows because she understood every word of it. So.
Yeah.
Does Mel have like 14 in? Like 12, 14 in?
12.
Right, okay. 12? Okay, fuck. We're really not smart, are
I think
we?
you're 12.
Might be 14.
Hey,
I think I'm 12.
Guess what?
Yeah, yeah.
Guess what? Joe's as smart as
What?
water too.
We're a really clever party.
Yeah.
Well, other well, then there's no way to cross. And if there's no way to cross, then there is no way over, and then we are stuck here.
Well,
And if we are stuck here, then you can tell the water that these outsiders will live by their shores forever. And I'm sure their contractor would not like that.
I mean, you can also speak to it in Sylvan.
Okay, that is what I will do. That is exactly what I will do.
are you dictating now?
Well, because it's gurgling, and I don't know how to gurgle. All right.
But as it switches languages, you can see that the surface goes to that like mirror flat, and then immediately starts bubbling and roiling again with new speech. I think my contractor has not a care in the world what lives on my shores or drinks of my waters. I was tasked to remain here for a debt long owed.
From Didal.
That name does sound familiar. Is he not King of the Seas?
He is indeed.
I do not remember, but the name sounds familiar.
Despero gurgles at the water and asks, "Are you offended by those who
Bye,
cross?"
bye, Katie. Katie, if you're leaving anime.
Oh
Huh?
yeah.
Other
About
peasing
to
out?
head out. But bye, guy.
bye.
Have fun at work.
Who's out on me?
Good luck.
They have late lab work tonight.
Wow, I see.
They're going in right now to sample tanks or
At
something.
9:45. That's fucking rough.
Well,
That is really rough.
2 days ago, May went in at 3 a.m. So
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
I know that feeling. I went at
Yeah.
4 in the morning for Best Buy on Black Friday.
Jesus.
Yeah, that was
yeah,
fun.
May went. She was in until about 3 a.m. and then she had a meeting at 8:30 or something stupid. It was
Ugh.
awful.
God.
That was a
Yeah.
bitch.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so you gurgle at the water.
Yeah, and Despero asked, "Are you offended by those who pass you?"
It matters not to me.
Oh, I don't know why I got the
Why
same.
would
model-
you let us? Why would you let us pass?
Wait, I
I
don't
am
understand
not a-
this.
I am okay. I'll assume that you guys are talking back and forth about
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. We'll
Okay.
pass it back and forth. To like, oh, he said this,
Yeah,
he said
yeah.
that.
Tran-
He, she,
translating. Yeah, they, whatever.
Yeah.
I take no mind of it. I am not allowed to.
Then Despero says, without really thinking, because well, he doesn't. He points at the bridge. Then could you bring that over here for us, please?
That is not. It looks and it just. Bring what?
He's pointing at the bridge.
Bring what? I am a river.
It does not see the bridge over the river.
Oh. Oh shit.
Can we okay, I know this okay. Joe's just gonna like get up and say, why can't we fly over like the birds?
I mean, we can. However,
Could I?
And then
turn into
Mel is going to
anything?
gesture back to the literal parade of Cyclopses. I'm
Yeah.
not sure we can fly all
The
of them
24
over.
huge cyclopses.
yeah, I'm not sure we can fly all of them over.
Like this would be simple enough if they could swim, but I'm assuming they can't.
Nobody's tried.
Look,
Look, we tried this
Can
before.
you ask
I know
him to
Pitcher
go
Lord
see if
wasn't
they can
here
swim?
for this. I know he wasn't here for this, but the last time we tried to get Cyclopses to swim through the river, we almost lost you, and Joe had to freaking rage to pull them out.
Oh.
That is true.
And
could I flop
This
as a
river-
giant sperm whale into the center of this river and just have people walk across me? Chase?
You could certainly try.
You
One
say
of the things
try.
that the river, one of the things that the Quaxis said was that only denizens of the winter court or the sea
Oh,
could
wow.
could command him.
How
Ooh.
big is a huge giant crab?
Not that big. I don't think you could even turn into a huge creature as a druid.
Even with polymorph?
With polymorph, you could. Where's
Yeah.
my fucking character creation? Where is my guide to wild shape? So, what can you turn? What combat rating can you turn into now? 2
I can.
or 1?
Oh, that 1 for wild shape, but up to my level
Yeah,
for
yeah,
polymorph.
yeah.
So up to at this point, like 10.
So you can turn into. Let's see. Giant octopus is not big enough.
A huge giant crab. I can be a sperm whale. I can be a giant shark. I can be.
Okay, we're just gonna go look in Fantasy Grounds, see if it has anything on beasts. Oh boy, there's a lot of beasts.
Oh,
the highest.
welcome all of the people in watching the stream. We got more people than I thought there would be here. Hello.
Oh, good. Hello. So a killer whale is indeed huge. I don't think. All right, so let's just look at actual stats.
There's also
I mean-
sperm whales, which are gargantuan.
Sperm whale size. Length 52 feet. Jesus fucking Christ.
Have you not seen a sperm whale chase?
I have
you not watched those nature documentaries? Have you not seen?
I mean, yeah, but I have no idea about scale.
Okay. It says on at least my D&D Beyond thing, sperm whales are toothed aquatic mammals that can grow up to 70 feet long.
Okay. All right, yeah, you can certainly try and make yourself a land bridge.
Yes.
Meat bridge.
How many hit points does it say? Yeah, a meat bridge. Yeah, how many hit points does it say you have, by the way?
189.
That's not terrible. What CR is it?
It is CR8.
Okay.
Look, all right. If we're worrying about them like gradually putting too much stress on her spine, I will also become a sperm whale, so they can put 1 foot on each of us. This is ridiculous, by the way.
This is ridiculous. You're correct.
You're asking me to problem solve, Chase, and am I not solving the fucking
that is
problem?
that is an attempt to solve the problem. We'll see if it fucking works. Let's do it. I'm all
Okay.
about this.
Okay.
So are we
So-
doing the double sperm whale for this?
No, we're just doing the singular sperm whale, and I can be. This is polymorph lasts for an hour, I believe. So they have an hour to cross the sperm whale bridge. Okay.
Oh.
So I'm
Do you
going
pay
to fly.
attention to the party?
Yes.
You should
you
probably
okay,
let
okay.
you should probably let the druid leader lady know too, just so people
Yeah,
are
I'm
like,
gonna
what the heck
Let
is
her.
that?
I'm gonna let her know, and I'm also going to let the river spirit or the river know
Okay.
that I will be.
You speak to it in Sylvan. What do you say?
I say,
If only creatures of the sea may cross you, I shall become a creature of the sea and allow them to pass over me.
It kind of gurgles back like, I don't see how that's gonna work, but okay.
It doesn't know what's gonna hit him. Oh, no.
okay. I'm explaining this at like to both Kitchalorn and the druid, and hoping this isn't a terrible idea.
Kitchalorn is sitting on the opposite bank, arms folded, and just a neutral expression on his face, just watching you guys and fucking judging.
Okay. It's.
I mean,
He's watching Despero go.
He's gonna fly over no matter what. He doesn't care about this whole
He's
plan.
already flown over.
Yeah.
He has already flown over using telekinesis to lift the elders and the children.
All right. It's time for
It
problem
took
solving.
the first 10 minutes of this now like 30-minute problem.
I am going to, after the brief talking with the spirit and the lady, I'm gonna.
The shaman
Jump
at this
is-
point is just like, you're the boss here. I don't know what's going on. Like, Guardian, I trust your wisdom of the
Okay.
Feywild more than any we have seen, more than any
Okay.
of my clan.
Oh, that's
We
unfortunate.
have no idea what we're doing.
She should.
We are lost without your leadership.
I'm
Okay,
don't. I'm also lost. All right, I'm gonna hop into the water and turn into a sperm whale and just lay across the whole thing and let people walk across. That is the plan. I am problem solving. Damn it!
So how much does a sperm whale weigh?
A lot.
Heavy ass
I
fucking
don't-
animal, man.
Oh, a lot.
Um,
Hold on.
It's like the third largest living vertebrate,
77
right? Let's
to
see.
130,000 pounds.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so that's a big fucking animal. So
I just like to say in the monster manual, it is considered gargantuan.
I believe that. That's fucking gargantuan. And because you are at least one size category larger than the Cyclops, they are not going to injure you while climbing over you.
Excellent.
And so you, Despero and Joe, you guys are standing on the side and taking a few steps back as she jumps into the air and just turns into a gigantic, it's like 55-foot long, bigger than any creature either of you have ever seen, and it just immediately just and fucking meteors into the water. And you see the glass-like surface of the water just immediately as she turns into it go, oh no. And then with this giant splash, you hear in Primordial "Whee!" as the wave courses downriver. You are now laying
Problem solving. Damn it.
Polymorph is the best spell in the game.
Polymorph is a
It
good
really
spell.
is.
Polymorph is a good spell. The Cyclops after hearing this thunderous crash, and most of you landed like on land. You are a gigantic fucking creature.
That's okay.
But
I can breathe on land because I
Yeah,
am
you can breathe
technically a
both, yeah.
mammal.
well, yeah, you can breathe, air. And the Cyclops are just like, a couple of them like slowly applaud. Just utter confused look on their faces, neatly mirroring my own. And the shaman's like, well, get to it. And you can see her kind of like smacking him with her walking staff, like move it.
Oh my fucking god.
And as they get across, they're like circling around your head and like petting your head and like trying to be like,
Okay.
and like kind of hesitantly coming up and touching you. Because they've literally never seen an aquatic creature bigger than like a river salmon.
Okay.
They lived in the mountains most of their life.
Yeah, that's
Their
itty,
entire
that's
life.
even that's even itty bitty for them.
I mean, it's certainly they're not even as tall as you standing up.
Yeah.
Like they are still this. They've never seen something bigger than themselves, except for other giants.
Mhm.
Right.
They are in utter and complete awe. And as the last of them kind of slides down your face onto the other side, you hear the gurgling.
Excellent.
Please get off me.
Has the last of them gone?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna turn back and like climb out the other side.
Despero squats like. Go ahead, sorry.
No, go ahead. Actually, this is fine.
Despero Slav squats at the water's edge and gurgles at it and says, "I bet you wish you just let us cross the way we asked before, huh?"
It responds to you. No, actually.
It does not give a fuck.
That was a new experience, and I thank you for that.
Yeah, no, dude, new
Oh.
experiences in the Feywild that's like priceless to Fey, dude.
Tell your
Despero
guardian.
blinks
I am
vacantly
in
and
her-
just gives it a thumbs up.
Tell your guardian, I am in its dead.
Oh.
Oh shit! I'm super into it. All right,
Great.
Despero, tell her.
Chaos crew. Chaos crew.
Chaos crew. Chaos crew. Chaos.
The Cyclops at this point are in a like a half circle around you, and the front row are all bowing down as low. They're on their knees, like supplicant to you at this point. You turn around from the river and you see just all of them on their knees, whichever one that word is, before
Prostrate.
you.
Prostrate.
Prostrate before you. Prostate, something very different.
That is something very-
Prostrate before you, and the shaman is even she's you can hear her like kind of throaty humming as she's eyes closed, hands spread, and you can see these streams of those herbs and material components streaming off of her hands into the wind as she hums a low song in the background. Kind of a wavery, like Native American kind of tribal song is what I'm picturing.
Mhm.
It's mournful and joyful at the same time. It's very strange to you. And they continue for about 5 minutes. They're sitting there worshiping you while Kitchalorn just like shakes his head and huffs, and you can see a bit of like frost come out of his nostrils.
Oh, someone's jelly for the attention.
And he
Oh, good.
he stomps away like, come on, Doctor.
Val gives them all a very, very like a flower. She gives them a thumbs up, but on the top of the thumb, there's like a little flower that blooms.
Yeah, they protect you. They worship you for a moment.
Excellent.
And the shaman comes up, and this guardian this dryad has performed a miracle for us. If the miracle of saving our tribe from the destruction that these giants may have brought us was not enough, she has mastery over this realm. Wherever she's saying this in giant, so you guys are just getting the Vonsog is loosely translating the gist of it.
Okay.
She has mastery over this realm, and we will protect her with our lives if need be.
Oh, gee.
Okay.
You got a ride or
Not
die
at all.
crew now.
Yes.
You got a cult.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Hell yeah.
They kind of straighten themselves up. The shaman, the last thing she says in this little speech is, "We have much more to travel. Stay strong. There lies a home for us on the other side of this. There lies a home with our guardian, Melifia,
Oh, this is
the
awkward.
Thane of Plants."
starting a cult. Starting a cult. Starting a cult.
You're the Thane of plants now for them.
I'm the Thane of sperm whales, is what I am. I'm the Thane of sperm whales.
So the Cyclops assemble themselves again, and Vonsog is just like, he kind of leans over you. What was that?
A creature of the sea that I have only briefly seen once,
Don't want.
reaching the waters.
I do not want to meet one.
They are surprisingly very kind and gentle for the most part.
That's the biggest creature I've ever seen, and I train mammoths.
There are far larger creatures in this world.
His eye just goes fucking wide, and he just kind of like
Oh.
he's visibly frightened.
I had a friend who once served a great dragon said to be so vast.
I'm thinking about Bahamut.
Okay. I was just wondering if that was the end of the sentence.
Yeah. That is the end of the sentence.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just gonna let that trail. Like, how big is Bahamut? Just out of curiosity.
I
It's
mean-
enormous.
So to all scale, he's actually not that big.
Oh, really?
But as the gods go, they're said to be able to, in their own realms at least, said to be able to change size at will.
Yeah.
Because it's the force of their own personality, the weight of
Yeah.
their own personality that creates those spaces.
Yeah.
But Kitchelorn, kind of on the edge of the coming back into the conversation, he kind of scoffs at you, and dragons, they can be much bigger than anything a mortal could create. The Dragon Queen Tiamat was the largest creature that ever walked this plane. Not this plane, the prime material plane.
That is true.
And
Tiamat's like the size of a mountain, isn't she?
kind of toying with Von Saga at this point, he kind of looks up, and a single head of hers, of which there were 5, was bigger than that whale.
How's Von Zog doing with that information?
How's Von Zog doing?
He's still just wide-eyed and still just like, oh, I'm in the wrong line of work.
Well, look at the bright side. He didn't get that dragon after all, so he doesn't have to worry about
He
it.
did not get that dragon. I know someone who did get that dragon, though.
Yep.
Hey.
Yep. Convenient, actually, that in the Chaos one-shot that happened last week with the New Blood Squad, they were in the same region as those northern mountains where Wansog's camp was.
Oh,
Oh,
excellent.
That's what they took on as their boss.
what?
An adult white dragon.
Oh.
It was the same one the Vonsog was looking for.
Holy shit.
Oh.
Under compulsion, but looking for nonetheless.
Oh.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Interesting that the Chaos one went that way. I'm pleasantly surprised with that one. Okay, so
By the way, do you like the Chaos Crew problem-solving skills right here? The fucking collective 12 int.
I live for the Chaos Crew problem solving. That is my absolute favorite part of your guys' group. Like, who the fuck would have contingioned the water supply of some giants in an attempt to fucking disease their like, that's some dark shit. That's fucking sick.
Well, they
I
were
was gonna
fucking
start
around, they
talking
found
about-
out.
Yeah. You guys took biological warfare to Dungeons and Dragons.
We did do that.
I am
We
so
also
okay with this.
sperm-whaled-
But again,
We
Mel
sperm-whaled
talked.
a river,
I was
Chase.
gonna say too, and Mel talked to some mushrooms and said, "Hey, can you get worse?" And then proceeded to,
Can you get worse? Can you get worse?
and then proceeded to cast. What was it again? Was it like
Contagion.
contagion on them to make them even worse than worse?
And then spread their spores into the water supply of this zealot army that was already encroaching on your bullshit. There's no way that can go wrong.
No, never. Not at all.
No way. Anyway,
Now Melissa
so-
just Billy flopped a river.
Yes.
yeah, she just belly flopped the entire river and
Yeah.
made a bridge. Creative.
Yeah.
That was all on a random encounter table. Anyway, you now find yourselves free of the forest on this side of the river. You look around, and all the plants are these kind of tall grasses that, for most of the humanoids, are chest height in places. For most of it, actually, the giants or the cyclops, of course, are casually rolling through them. Knee high, maybe, even like shin high. And as you look down across this, well, now it's a valley. That's weird. It looked flat before. But now you look like you're in foothills almost, and the river flowing behind you along the ridge of the foothills. So ahead of you is this downward slope. And now that you guys are free of the forest, for the first time, you see it. You see the Arbor Exemplar.
Excellent.
Oh,
Show-
whoa, dude.
Oh shit!
Jared, are you seeing
A
this?
massive, sky-high tree surrounded by beautiful purple clouds in the mid-twilight, somewhere between sun and dusk, somewhere between all the currents of this world that flow, and the very centerpiece of the land. Landward. That's why it's called that. Because this being, this living being, dominates so much of the region here that the entire plane is literally focused on it. It is anchored on it.
Mm-hmm.
Arbor Exemplar. In Sylvan, the word for it most closely translates to the world tree, because it is an anchor point for this world. And it is also home to the summer court of Titania, Queen of the Fae. You see it off in the distance, far to the landward side of where you are. Although distance is hard to judge due to the absolute massive size of this tree. Its canopy stretches up above the clouds. You see those same, just like in the picture I shared you, those rings expanding out from around it, with streams of magic flowing off of them into the air. The hills around it appear seemingly out of nowhere. The longer you look at them, the more hills that appear, and the more kind of tumultuous this otherwise plains terrain gets. But as you look back at the valley, which is now a even flatter valley, you are still up in the foothills, but you can see for miles and miles across this valley of sweeping, waving grass. Melifia, this is home for you. This is you're near the summer court, and you can feel the energy radiating through you. The sun is now, so it now looks like you're in about, I don't know, 3 p.m. in the winter. So you're the sun is starting to go down in this kind of cool, beginning to be evening light. Like 3 p.m. at the winter solstice. I mean, for scale, like you starting to be night. Different thought. Nikki, do you know what latitude you're on?
Where I am? In Perth?
Yeah. Because we're at 30 here in Sacramento.
We're pretty far.
I'm just curious. Whatever. That's a thermodynamics question for another time.
Hold on. Do you want latitude or longitude?
Latitude.
Okay. We're at 319505 south, 115.8605 east.
So 35 south. Yeah, are actually kind of comparable. Interesting. So you completely got sidetracked, nerd sniped.
That's okay.
Yeah, you nerd sniped. It's when you see a particular problem that your brain just has to solve.
Yeah.
Understandable. I'm
It
keeping
has to be
that
all
one.
the fucking time. That the question that I was wondering was at what angle does the sun go down for you every day of the year, and is it like ours? It is. Turns out it's about 3 degrees off because we're at 38 north.
Okay, Chase. I'm just gonna take your word for it.
I took an entire class on this.
So you're describing the
valleys and
Exemplar,
the Arbor Exemplar, the hills around it, and the valley ahead of you. You're in. Oh boy, this valley has a name. Where even are my notes?
Oh shit! Is this Napa?
This is the Willow Curl grasslands.
Oh shit.
And like all the other places within the Feywild, this place responds to weight of personality, weight of being. And as Melifia begins walking through these tall grasses, every step she takes looks like that one scene in Gladiator where he's walking through the wheat, like kind of solemnly looking off into the middle distance while brushing his hand against the wheat. Every step Melifia takes looks like that somehow. The grass is bend and sway out of her way. It is magic, damn it. The grass is bend and sway out of her way. You can see like small rabbits crossing her path. This place is just full of life around you. In fact, you don't see rabbits. You see like a little jackalope, a little antlered
Oh yes.
hare, kind of leap across your path and kind of chitter up at you for a second before jumping off into the grass further.
Excellent.
And you begin your trek across the Willow Curl grasslands.
Yes, we do.
Hell yeah.
Would you say we're about like halfway through now?
No, you guys are. That was just intro. So you guys are still, I'll say, a full day's travel, judging by your judge of the distances, to the Summer Court. But you
Okay.
have a direct line to the Arbor Exemplar right now.
Fantastic. Let us beeline it.
Okay. So the rest of this day of travel, which you still have about 4 hours, and then
Okay.
another full day, and you'll get there.
Okay.
Okay. So, Christina, if you would make a survival check with advantage for Malafia, and you can make your perception check to finish out this day of travel. Hold that. No, I didn't. Okie dokie. I can close my sperm whale stats page.
Chaos crew. Chaos crew.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, I realized I was muted.
okay.
So I was gonna say
Ah.
23 survival skill for Mel and 19 perception for Jill.
Okay.
That's not bad at all.
Okay. So Melithia, yeah, with your survival, with your keen sense of direction in the Feywild, you calmly make your way through these tall grasses, this gloam grass, and make your way across the plains. Due to the protective nature of your own magic, the grasses are also kind of providing this shelter for you, and you notice that even the Cyclops, whose heads and torsos stick well above the grass, they kind of, when you look back at them, they appear to be just walking in it like shoulder height. Kind of
Excellent.
masking your presence. And Joe, looking around you, you do see flying through the air a number of those Kipine, kind of migratory formation, and they appear to be flying duskward. But they don't seem to take note of you, even the large group that you have. And they continue flying. There's about 5 of them, and they continue flying duskward into the forest you just left. The Cyclops, especially the children, are, though tired, energized here. Both seeing your miracle, Melifia, and the change of pace from dark forest to now sunlight, holy shit, and warmth. And grass? Well, that's cool. We haven't seen a lot of that. They appear energized. There's a little more pep in their step. They're moving quickly. So you guys are free to move at a fast pace should you choose.
Yes, please.
Okay. So in the rest of this day, you make quite a bit of distance, and for those of you, so for Joe and Despero, the size of the World Tree continues to fucking astound you. The closer you get, the bigger it gets, and this thing is immeasurably larger than you could have imagined. I wish I could show you.
So I'm assuming it's the kind of colossal where like there's not even really a point in trying to grasp it. It's like it's just fucking huge.
It is just fucking huge. There's no
Okay.
point in trying to grasp it because you could not.
Okay.
It's like, trying to comprehend infinity, right?
Okay.
Again, another discussion for another time, Nerds Night. Andrew and I had a long discussion about this about a year ago about trying to comprehend infinity, and it was a really cool discussion.
There's countable infinity, and then there
and
are
there's not countable infinity.
well,
Yeah, there's lots of
infinities,
shit. I'm not a math major. I stopped at what I stop at differential equations. So the first rest comes to pass under the under the warm sun, but not unpleasantly warm. The Cyclops are visibly hot, especially given all their kind of body fat. They are there's only so much clothes they can take off before they're indecent, and they're hot in this maybe like 60-degree weather.
Can I
They
get that in degrees instead of Fahrenheit?
25.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's temperate.
Yeah, but for them, that's
But
kind
for
of
them,
sweltering.
they're used to 40 F or lower. Freezing temperatures virtually year round where they're from.
They'll lose the body fat and maybe like slim down to like summer forms. I don't know. But...
you've never seen a ripped Cyclops.
Oh shit! I don't want to think about that.
Beach bod Cyclops. Yeah.
Yes.
It's just what's the girl's name from Futurama? Lilu, whatever.
Lulu, yeah.
Yeah. Leela. Yeah, I've never actually seen Futurama. Which is a crime, I know.
It is a little bit.
So you take your night's rest, your night in air quotes. Again, the sun doesn't go down, and the giants are having a very hard time, or the Cyclops. The Cyclops are having a very hard time getting to sleep, most of them. And even your Hearth of Moonlight and Shadow is only just dimming it. Melfia, perception check with advantage. Or no, with +5.
+5, yeah.
And the rest of you, are you doing anything particular before bed? Or Melfia, I suppose, are you using your good berries?
Yes. Yes.
Jo is still eating whatever leftover she has. So what do you want from Malafia again? Sorry.
Perception with
A
+5.
perception check +5. So out of 14, I think.
There's in fancy rounds, there's just a +5 button on the bottom, which is nice.
Oh, well, that's good. Because 19.
Yeah.
I
So
rolled
with a 19, okay.
Is it more trees? Chase, is it more bush that are assaulting
you
us
imagine?
today? It's just a very unhappy grass.
Actually, it is not.
Oh,
Through the strange, weird sleeping twilight, let's see. I am gonna roll a group stealth check.
They get a +5 because of Hearth of Moonlight and Shadows.
Yeah, so I'll drop the DC, but I gotta find the actual stats for this thing first. Hang on. Get out of here, map. Perception. Ooh. Okay.
Like that. Chase, I don't like the sounds you are making.
Despero, you rolled a 3 on your stealth.
Oh, good.
And you passed.
What?
Huh?
Given your +8 or +5 due to the Hearth of Moonlight and Shadow,
Oh yeah.
you actually passed.
That's weird.
So Melifia, in the night, you see very low flying 3 Kipine.
Okay.
Conveniently that you see them, that you saw them earlier, that I also rolled them on the table. You see them fly down and dive from the sky at seemingly breakneck speed and pick up something. In the 2 of them pick up these 2 different things, and the third one kind of lags behind and is like looking around and then following the other 2 and trying to snatch it out of one of their claws. Maybe 100 feet from the edge of your hearth.
Okay.
But they do not appear to see you. You guys, they were so busy hunting whatever it was they were hunting, that they did not appear to notice you. They rolled a real bad perception.
Thank God. We're going to take a breath of relief.
Probably for the best.
Despero almost blew it for us, but it worked out.
I mean, yeah, so a 3 was the let's see. Yeah, a 3
God,
was
I mean, was he just fucking like snoring through a megaphone? How did he fuck that up?
He didn't, though. He didn't. You're good.
You just managed to. Yeah, I guess you just didn't manage to hide yourself well enough before going to sleep. So you're just laying out there in the open, and the grass is all like, I don't know. He's got the shit.
Nice.
He's got the shit knife. I don't want to touch that. That's gross.
That's
Says the
gross.
fucking-
Says the grass. Yeah. Yeah, but they rolled real bad, so it's okay. Okay. And Melfia actually, so you notice as you're handing out your good berries,
Mhm.
the shaman, she reaches up towards you as you come to give her one, and she declines it, and she like brushes her hand against the side of your face,
Mhm.
and you see her focus really hard and conjure some good berries herself.
Hey,
Oh.
she's doing it.
Mel will give her a smile and is she sitting down? Can I kiss the top of her head?
She's sitting, but even then she's still like 10 feet tall.
Okay.
And the ones that she conjures are about the size of grapefruits.
Okay.
Hey, it's the good
Big
villain.
ass bear.
It's
It's the
good
good
melon. Yeah. See, you just got to be a large creature.
So
So
they
excuse
scale
me
to
while I
size.
cast enlarge on myself, then Goodberry.
Yeah.
And she manages to dig in she lays these the material components down in a circle, like sprinkling them out of her hand onto some dirt that she's cleared.
Mhm.
And after offering a short prayer to the sky, she digs her hand into the earth and comes up with like a handful of these giant good berries.
Mel will give her a very giddy and excited smile,
And
and then
she
shows
she
her
has
some of her little ones, and then
Yeah,
compare
she's-
her to her big ones.
she's a she's just a beaming, like ear to ear grin, single cyclops eye just closed with happiness. Yeah, she's
Yep.
she's ecstatic that she has the capability of doing this for her people. Yeah, so otherwise the night passes uneventfully, and in the
Other
morning
than the almost
Other
close
than
call.
the close call with Kipine. And the day begins. You are within an arm's reach of the Arborg Exemplar and the Summer Court. And I
Mel is-
think that is where we will pick up next week. Next time.
Excellent.
Next time.
Because my voice is thrashed and I don't want to try and do Titania's voice tonight.
Yeah, it
Understandable.
sounded
Have a
like
nice
it.
day.
Alright.
Good fucking session! That was great!
Yeah, holy shit. We got a lot of people in here. Hope everybody enjoyed.
Yeah. If you
and,
want to stream it again, we can stream it again 2 weeks from now.
We can. I am mostly happy about my terrible but also excellent problem solving skills.
That was
My
great.
problem solving.
Yeah,
was
that was
perfect.
amazing. That was great.
The sperm whale land bridge? Yes.
So one of the fun things that I've done this campaign and this campaign only, in contrast to my previous ones, is that I don't think up the ends of problems. I have stopped solving my own problems. That's your guys' job. So it
That
takes a
is.
lot of the burden off me, and it allows me to make shit up on the fly.
Mhm.
Like that encounter. It said elemental. That's all. It said one word, elemental.
Uh-huh.
We got Laquaxis. I'm a fan of
You got
Laquaxis.
Laquaxis, and you had a creative solution to the problem, and you gave him a new experience. Which, Christina, you're right. In the Feywild, that's a big deal. In the Feywild, where everything is changing, everything has already changed infinitely. So there's nothing new under the sun.
To give them a new experience. That's a
To
whole
give them a new
entirely-
experience, that is a gift. Whether
So
you
he
knew
got
it or
land
not.
whaled.
So I put
Yeah.
in my notes, Laquaxis owes Mel a huge favor after she turned
For
into
getting
a whale and flopped onto
For
the
getting
river.
whaled.
Yeah, yeah.
I have written in my notes this very specific note, right? Let me pull it up really quick. It literally says, okay, Nubin Beeben, the dark elf drow trapped and ruined without a guardian. Come back to this plot hook, Mickey. I literally wrote that in brackets next to it.
If that's the way you got to remind yourself, then that's the way it happens.
Look,
Alright.
it was a good plot hook. It was an excellent plot hook, Chase, and I wasn't gonna let that drown, and I wasn't gonna fucking forget about it. So I literally wrote a message to myself not to fucking
Good,
forget about
good.
it.
All right. Well,
That was
I'm gonna stop the
plot hook
stream.
you guys don't have.
I'm gonna stop.
Thank
the stream
you all
now,
for
so-
listening.
Yeah. Thanks
if you,
for.
if you've stuck around, thanks for listening.
Yeah. Hopefully we should have Devin for next round. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, next Friday, 6:30 p.m. or not next Friday, the Friday after,
Yeah.
6:30 p.m.
So the
Yeah.
So we will try and do this again.
29th of January.
Excellent.
You
Alright.
know that scene from that Harry Potter movie? Master has given Dobby a stock. I can't help but think of Laquaxis. Alethea has given the Quaxis a whale, and it's just making me so happy.